And there's the festive liftoff then. It all starts here this afternoon on Racing Post Live in association with Betfair. A very festive full Dave Orton comes back your way to steer the ship this afternoon. All the big tips, of course, if you want to know where your money went, this is the place to be. Raucous reaction through the races. We'll teach you all about the exchange if you're new to the game. Does it get any better than this day, Jumps fans? We've not had it, have we? In fact, it's been a pretty skinny December thus far. Not today. Stars absolutely everywhere. 5 live races we give you here this afternoon. Of course, covering the terrestrial action domestically, but we will be keeping an eye on some prime Irish action. The Racing Post app Novice Chase, 220 amongst them. Let us know who wins today, who's going to pay for Christmas. Boys and girls, let us know. You can do so by liking and subscribing on YouTube, of course. That's the place to get involved with the chat. Let's ramp it up. Let's have some fun. I've got a great panel for you. Shall we go down them? Who joins me then? Our brother from another festive mother. It is Charlie Post. How are we feeling, Charles?
Really good, yeah. Rev for today.
Got stuck in yesterday, did you?
Oh, fully stuck in, yeah. I was fully invested, like always, yeah.
Absolutely, but not. You come alive in moments like this, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
We've got the tree here.
You know, we're not for the faint-hearted, are we? We roll our sleeves up and get stuck in again.
You're going to have to, because you knew you would be sitting next to the bear, of course. I mean, look, it's 12 months later. We used to put him in a moose hat. We thought that would just be too brutal, but you're keeping it festive. Did you have a good day yesterday,
I had a fantastic day yesterday, Dave. Yeah, it was a lovely day. Everyone came over. We had like 13 people around the table and, yeah, really, really jolly atmosphere in the Rodway household. And what better way to get over your festive feast than this festive feast of racing that we've got coming up today.
There will be a lot of people out there just counting down the hours yesterday. Get Christmas Day out the way because it comes now right up until New Year's Day. We'll be with you here this afternoon, back on New Year's Eve, and then, of course, the Sunday. Get it right, all the days. It's just a weird time of year, isn't it? We'll be covering, hopefully, Cheltenham's on that day, and we'll be going right into January for you as well. So let us know you're out there then. Who else is out there? Now, I've almost forgotten what he looks like. So long has it been since I dialed into Dublin. The big hitter himself, Barry Orr, finally comes back on the show.
Yes, good afternoon, gentlemen. It's great to be back. One of my 3 favourite days racing of the year is St. Stephen's Day, or as you call it in the UK, Boxing Day. Absolutely love it. Great appetite for it after having the last couple of days off. Festive spirit's gone now. It's all about picking a few winners.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, this is just an amazing day. The Leopardstown guy, we've got Limerick as well. There's a great match there, Barry, isn't there, between Kilcroot, of course, and Jerry Colombe. All the stars coming out to play. We've already had one race down at Leopardstown, high definition. Now, I've not seen Racing Twitter yet, Barry. I'm assuming that that's gone kicking up because when he began to, what some people would call flop on the flat for Aidan O'Brien, do you remember when he was favourite for the Derby a couple of years ago? He goes and makes all in the first, but the sportsbook wasn't that impressed.
No, we cut him from 25-1 into 20-1 off the back of that. He seemed to jump out to his right a bit. I'm sure he's going to be better going right-handed, looking at the way his tendency to go out to the right today. But obviously, it's only his first run over hurdles. He has got a good engine. We know that from his 2-year-old career. He was sent off favourite for Adante, wasn't he, when he finished 3rd that year? And he's only beaten a short head behind Alan Kerr in a Patterson's Gold Cup earlier this year on the flat as well. So he seemed to... We know he has a good engine, like I say, so he's still got it all to do over hurdles, though, although that could have been a pretty decent race.
Yes, of course, the Mullins gamble was sunk, as they were just watching the second as well. Dark Raven strutting his stuff coming back. I mean, he nearly won a Tatsal's Gold Cup, didn't he? He's also obviously likes to get on for the front. You thought at the 20s was a bit of a carrot, didn't you, for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fair price. I mean, he's got a serious engine, hasn't he? I mean, like, crikey, if he can transfer that over. And like you say, that was a deep enough race. You know, strongly fancy Willie Mullins' horse in behind him. And, yeah, I thought it was a promising start.
We're just keeping our eyes on the second here at Leopardstown as well. They've omitted this flight again, Barry, haven't they? It looks like...
Yeah, it looks like it could be out for the day, that last flight of hurls and Leopards. It's a real shame as well because obviously it's a crucial hurl, especially up the Leopardstown straight, but it just means it's a massive long run-in.
I'll tell you what, this is a proper horse, Barry. You know when you've got the Christmas curse about you. This is my horse to follow in the big jump off last season, Dark Raven. He didn't even turn up. Do you think that 25s into 20s, G? We've got to get to Kempton, of course, soon because we've got our first race coming up there. It's the long walk. But do you think that that's just far too much respect for Facile Vega then? Just quickly.
Well, yeah, but Facile Vega does look amazing, doesn't he? So I don't think I'd be wanting to get too big about Facile Vega. And of course, if you've got Facile Vega in there fairly short, then some of the others got to be knocked out slightly more, haven't they?
All right, well, talking about fairly short things, we'll get a word from you, Posty, on that. Let us know what you made of it anyway. Barry, let's go then. It's a treat for us. It was supposed to be at Ascot. It was too frozen there, but we now have the long walk hurdle. And are you with the champ?
Yeah, I'm against the champ. We're going to do our lucky 15 first. I think we have a couple of minutes to do that. If we want to kick on with that G-Rod, it's a win-only lucky 15. It's Miranda here in the long walk curl. It's going to be Jelena Bello in the Caudo Star. It's going to be Brave Man's Game in the King George. And then over to the only other race we're covering today is Wetherby at the 135. That's the Roland Merrick. It's going to be Sounds Russian. We're just going to do a £2 lucky 15. Win-only lucky 15 there.
£2 win only, that's £1,834 if that comes in. What a Christmas cracker that'd be.
Come on, we need the Christmas multi to get on the move, Barry. And you teased us a little bit there. There's a big lay coming up. We missed Barry on the show, guys, haven't we? Come on, what is it? You're laying the champ.
Yeah, I'm taking on Champ here. I know his first run back tends to be his best. There's not a whole lot of miles on his clock when you look at it. He's only had 20 runs and he's won 11 times. So he has been a great servant. He's rising 11 now, though, in a couple of days. Him and Paisley Park have butted heads several times. Obviously, last time out in Newbury, there was very little between. The one's a 2-1 chance and one's nearly a 9-2 chance. So we're just going to take 25 quid of the backer stake out of Champ here, please, at 3.1. Happy to be a price taker here on the Betfair Exchange. I think Goshen has a chance. I think Paisley Park has a chance. Miranda, flat track going right-handed, perfect for her. And not so sleepy, a former Betfair Exchange trophy winner, a two-time Betfair Exchange trophy winner, is not without a chance either. This is a warm little race for two horses that I think have peaked and are on a bit of a downward curve in Champ and Paisley Park. I think any one of the other three could do both of these.
A fighting fifth winner, of course. A Betfair fighting fifth winner as well. He's a fascinating runner, isn't he? A dead heater. Constitution Hill comes back out as well. We're going to tell you how we think we're going to play the best hurdler of all time. We're going to find out. You've got G-Rod in here. You can get all your questions in for him. We're going to get opinions left, right and centre going on. Right, we've heard them, Barry. He is laying the champ. Are we all laying the champ?
Yes.
I don't think Champ will win, no. I mean, I think he's number 12 on my power rankings, so there's at least two or three others who are above
First
him.
festive mention of them. Okay, all right.
And
That took what, in 2 minutes?
Miranda doesn't even register on a power rankings, and Barry's backed her. Got to be having a laugh here, Barry.
Tell us the thing about Miranda, Barry, because she was the one that the books laid when the race was, originally put up at Ascot. She went in short, didn't she? She's 2 from 2, of course, at Kempton. And the thing to tell you guys, we've seen the first race as well. It's softer than you might imagine. Only 5.0 on the going stick. That's not too far off the H word.
Yeah, I don't think so. Sam Quiston Davis came back in after riding Rare Edition and said it was soft, but there was good patches on it. So a little bit dead, I think, was the way he described it. No, but Miranda, she won a mare's hurdle here by 11 lengths in November. It was her first time at the trip, and then first time tongue tie and cheek pieces. She's won a handicap here off 124 back in 2019. She's won well at Wincanton and Ludlow. So this kind of flat track, right-handed flat track really suits her. I just think could be more improvement with her over the trip than some of the others that have obviously established her credentials. But I think she could be a rising force in this division at this course.
The anti-postman, Robbie Wilder's Christmas nap as well, this was. He's absolutely mad keen on this.
Yeah, I mean, Kills got in touch because he's mad keen on Goshen and he wanted to tip him. We did this feature called the 12 Plays of Christmas, which basically has to have 12 different horses or bets that you could almost
I think we
up
get
if
it.
you want,
Yeah, absolutely.
But you can't have two in the same race, can you? And now Kills wanted to tip Goshen, you see.
Where
and
does he rank in the
Wilders,
tipsters these days, Kills? At
number
the Post?
3 on the
He's
Racing
number
Post
3 on the
ranking.
tipster
Who's number 1?
rankings. Who's number 1?
Who do you think's number 1?
Oh,
do you
come
need
on,
to
get
ask
your hand
a
up.
question, Dave?
Goodness gracious, man, how did that work
Numero
out?
uno.
Well, I'm not sure about that. Kills has already nicked the first at Kempton. So you got a little head-to-head going on there. So you're not with Miranda?
No, I don't think Miranda can win. No, Champ and Paisley Park. I mean, this track should suit Paisley Park. Should suit Champ, shouldn't it? Not Paisley Park.
I don't know about this. I'm putting Paisley up. Should we just get it up? I'm putting Paisley up. Now, and the fact that you are against it makes me even more confident because your mate owns this and you usually go for him all the time. Right, they're off and running. You're both with Goshen, aren't you?
Goshen, yeah.
I'm on Goshen.
All right, unbelievable scenes. I think Paisley will be suited to this track. He's won from one around Haydock. That's nice and sharp. He's won around Hereford before. I know he's getting along in the tooth, but they could have gone to Cheltenham on New Year's Day, of course, for the rail kill, and I like the fact
the
he's
ground
here.
will suit him.
It should do.
The track won't, though.
It should do. I mean, Sam Twiston Davies coming in after the first on board that winner. He must have felt like it was good to firm. That was quite impressive, Rare Edition, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've seen a couple of decent Supreme performances, haven't we? Rare Edition chasing fire up north.
Yeah, he won easily again.
Awesome Meneers that you like.
Yeah, that's the Dark Raven.
And High Definition.
And High Definition. It's a good day, isn't it? And the first thing to say is that straight out in front then is Champa, repeating, hopefully, for you backers out there, what he did at Newbury in the long distance when he came back. Something's keeping him company. It's probably not so sleepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is interesting. Johnny Burke, obviously, we spoke to Johnny Burke not so long ago here in this studio, and I asked him if he tried to take, in his mind, whether he might take the lead from Constitution Hill. It's because of these white hurdles. He wasn't sure how sleepy the quirky sleeper was going to go for them. But this time, you've got to let him rip, really, not so sleepy. He either stays or he doesn't. Miranda's in third. She really popped that beautifully. A little bit slow there, Paisley Park, and they're riding in for stamina barrier or Goshen, who sits one but last.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything wrong yet. They're all travelling well in themselves. There's no great pace on. Interesting, Champ Tuck was keen to take on Not So Sleepy early for that lead. Not So Sleepy sitting off him now just a bit. He's not his usual keen self. Wasn't in his last run either, it has to be said, in the fight in fifth. But Goshen's going well. Miranda's going well. She's jumping for punch. She's skipping over her hurdles. Paisley Park is just the one. He needed a little squeeze early, but he's gone well with them too. There's only, 3 lengths?
Yeah, there is. And I guess if we're on Paisley Park, Aidan Coleman, of course, who knows Champ well, you're surely, you're not going to. You need to keep tabs on him at that third last, and then let him have a go, right?
Yeah, you would have thought so, wouldn't you? I don't think they're going very fast here, are they, Dave? Yeah, I thought that Emma Lavelle was speaking, wasn't she? Said, this race might set up nicely for her. Goshen and Champ and Not So Sleepy. They might all go off in front, and they're holding Goshen up.
Well, let's come to you, Posty, on this one, because did you see this happening? He's again a lot horse that when he's at his very best, he seems to, make a move early, doesn't he?
Are we on about Goshen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, but up in trip today, he's actually switched off nicely following Champ through. I mean, and again, Not So Sleepy isn't at all reckless like he can be. And I think, like G said, I think it's testament to the fact that they're not going overly quick. You can almost see John Joe O'Neill Jr. take him back on the reins, reins slightly off the neck on Champ, and he's trying to steady them. Maybe he went a fraction too quick at Newbury last time.
Well, that was to surely try and get the sting out of Paisley Park, wasn't it? And they probably... when do the jockeys know that John Joe O'Neill Jr. is going to say, this is me, lads, I'm taking it up? At the start?
Miranda's body language. I don't like Harry Cobden's body language on Miranda.
Oh, he's not been on the show for a little while. He's showing his true colours again. The Movember beard has gone, and this is the Barry that we know and love.
He has been chivied.
What price is she going, Barry?
She's out to 10.5 now, same price as Not So Sleepy. She just doesn't seem to be travelling at all. Like, you wouldn't say they're going a mad pace, and she's finding it difficult to lie up with them now. But, Champ is 13 to 8, 2.64, 4.5 Paisley Park. Goshen is the one they want to be with now, into 3 to 1 in run.
That's interesting, isn't it? Mally D says in running, can't trust Goshen, nutter. All right.
I mean, the only thing I would say, his last 3 hurdle starts right-handed, he has won.
Who's that?
Goshen.
Well, he has to go right-handed, doesn't he? We know
but
that.
what I'm saying is, when you take out some of those, his profile isn't that bad.
She's back on the bridle a little bit.
Yeah.
Was that a good move by Harry Cobden there?
Yeah, but I mean, what you saw him do, he moved her out wide, and there was a loop in the rain. She's not really going forward and taking him, so he moved her away from the others, tried to get her in a more prominent position, and she does seem to be travelling a little bit more kindly, but I agree with Barry. I think in a slowly run race, you'd like to see her travelling a little bit stronger and sweeter.
Is that why Goshen's coming in here? Because they've got a slow pace and they think it's going to be a burn up here.
Because we know he's got to turn a foot.
Well, the one it's not going to suit is Paisley Park, isn't it?
Well,
But I think John Joe O'Neill Jr. is adjusted. I think he set it up for Paisley Park at Newbury a bit, and he's kind of going to go a bit steadier and ride a bit.
Tanking Paisley Park. They're all abreast the line. Look, if they're Not So Sleepy, probably.
Come on, my Goshen.
Right, all of a sudden then, Champ, we're coming to the third last, I think, aren't we? Miranda sticking in there. Paisley Park continues to catch the eye. Aidan Coleman will not want to give Champ too much rope, turning for home. You just don't know what
Goshen's
Goshen's
your
got.
favourite now.
Is he really?
Come on,
On the
Goshen.
inside.
Champ has gone favourite again.
So the Exchange basically
a
thinks
weird
that out in
race.
front of the third last that Champ is vulnerable up front. Has he gone quick enough? Pings that one though,
Pinged
the
it.
Champ. And
Go on,
over he
Goshen.
goes. I'll tell you what, he's got loads left into. Now
Come on,
Goshen
Gosh.
all of a sudden coming up.
Paisley
Here's
Park
the
got the
Paisley
bride.
flat
He's
spot.
knackered now.
Yeah.
He's not knackered. What are
He's
you on
knackered,
about?
he's
This
gone.
is what he does.
No, he's gone.
He'll be
No,
back
no.
there.
He ain't coming
I'll
back
tell you
here.
what, you're lucky you don't back in running, G-Rod. This is not
He
over.
won't be back.
All
Come on,
right,
Gosh.
Look
Aidan
at Goshen
Coleman
on the
showing
Oh, no,
inside.
Goshen.
Goes out.
What's a
Challenging him
Christmas
now.
treat? What price, Barry?
You've evens Champ and it's 7-4 Goshen, 5 Paisley Park.
This is what you didn't want to see on Paisley, but now the flat spot is over. Has he just lost too much ground? That's the question. All of a sudden, look, the 10-year-old is starting to go. Miranda's probably going to be past the third by him in a second. At the moment, Champ now going. This is amazing on Goshen, isn't it? As he always wanted 3 miles,
Hey.
people.
Come on, Goshen, get after
Coming
him.
to the second last, then Champ continuing to
Paisley's
pull out
not
more.
out of it.
Which one? Paisley
Paisley's
got out of
coming
it
in,
too.
he's coming in.
Come on, Paisley, let's see you
No.
get up and over it. I'll tell you what, G1, you've totally
Go on,
walking
Goshen.
in front. Come on, we got a non-starter and we got your old rival.
Go on,
We can
Goshen.
do this. Come on,
Come on,
Paisley.
Goshen.
This is what it's all about on the inside. Champ still to be passed. Goshen now maybe finding it a bit tough.
Paisley.
Here comes Paisley back. Get a look at those ears. Brings over. He goes. Go on, my old friend. Here we are. We're
He is
away.
quick.
He can't go on a sharp track. They said this is what it's all about. And Christmas lands early for Dave Orton. The first tip of the day goes in. The Champ lay was down for Barry as well. Not sure what to make of Goshen there in second. And there is daylight to the other two. Barry, when did they sense the old boy might come and pick him up?
Braden, although Champ led them into the straight, the winner, Paisley Park, began to trade low there. Champ traded at a low of 1.33 in running. We also had Goshen, who traded at a low of 2.2 in running, which is 5-4. Cracking little race, that has to be said. Miranda traded at a low of 4. That was pre-race. Your winner had a Betfair SP of 5.70, would you believe, versus Champ, who had a Betfair SP of 2.74. Obviously, we're going to get an updated Stayers hurdle market there. 14 from 20 for the Stayers hurdle market. And nothing's really put up their hand against the old guard, have they? It doesn't look like Goshen stayed, I don't think. To my mini.
He's a tricky one because he's finished second. And I have to say, this is all the sweeter. The mince pie is over here, please, because I am now. I can sit back for the day because I know that he abandoned him. There's been few bigger Paisley Park fans than G-Rod over the couple of years. And Andrew Gemmell, let's hope he's not watching. He'll be livid with you.
He will be livid with me, but I can't believe what I've just seen.
What do you mean? I told you he's won around Hereford. He's won around Haydock. They're really sharp tracks. He's won from one of those.
I think what we can say is the ground is very hard work.
Played to his strengths, didn't it?
Well, I didn't think John Joe O'Neill went that quick.
Oh,
I think
do
he
you
was.
know
I
what?
think he was aware that he maybe made it more suitable for Paisley Park at Newbury, in spite of the fact that he won. And he looked like he went steadier.
Well, they had it was going perfectly to plan for Champ Backers turning in because Paisley. It's just what. Hopefully, we called that for you out there. This probably will happen in running. It was just that third last, and he wasn't the slickest over it like some of the others were. That's when Not So Sleepy checked out. Miranda fell in the hole, didn't she? Probably found
Not
this a
good
bit
enough.
tough. Probably found this a bit tough. And her Kempton bubble has burst. But still coming to the second last, you're thinking, well, he's got it all to do. And at what point did you get that sinking feeling?
I did get that sinking feeling coming to the last. But what horse he has been, let's just say, Paisley
Oh,
Park, an
magnificent.
absolute star, isn't he? I mean, how has he won that? I don't know how he's won that, but he just keeps confounding the doubters, doesn't he?
And Barry, I assume, what was he, 20s on the sportsbook or something, wasn't I think, which is very big, of course, for a horse of his stature.
He was a 20-1 chance for Stayers hurdle. He's into 14-1 now for that. He traded at 38 in running for small money. He traded at 38 in running for small money, yeah, but it just obviously the story of the race. That's the way he runs his race, you know. He looks beaten considerably, amount of his runs, and just seems to pull it out of the park.
Aren't they the horses that we love, Barry? And from an exchange point of view, they're always the most interesting. I mean, you could have put him bigger than 38, surely, when he was, looking like, if you didn't know him, you'd think he's out on his legs.
Yeah, you didn't know him, but obviously he's well known to punters. And even 38 seemed a bit big. I don't think he was ever a 38 chance in running. No wonder it was only small amount traded at that. But knowing his run style, he's always liable to come back and trade considerably shorter than that in run.
And fair play, Barry. The first lay is back. Barry's legion of supporters will be absolutely loving that one. We've got to find a charity, Barry, as well, haven't we? This is something that we do. Barry plays for charity in the races, of course. You don't have to trade in every single race. There's so much racing today, guys. Pick your target. Safe gambling is what it's all about, now more than ever, I think. And there's so many races, but Barry does play every race he trades. Goes to charity. We need to pick one. We missed 2 weeks, Barry, of course.
Yeah, and it's like you say, we're trading just to show the functionality of the exchange and then some of the offers on the sportsbook and that. And I would just highlight today, there's a completely free £2 bet, multiple bet on any sport today, Boxing Day, on the Betfair Sportsbook. So completely free £2 multiple bet on any sport. You can have it on football, you can have it on horse racing, you can do what you like with it. Just go and claim that on site. Have a look out for the T's and C's there. But yeah, I would probably just go with the Injured Jockeys Fund again. It's a noble cause, and they're worthy warriors of they're worthy beneficiaries of anything we manage to win while showing the functionality of the exchange and the sports book. So happy to go with the Injured Jockeys Fund, especially with one of their most notable recipients sat there on the panel.
It's a big week this for you, of course. Tomorrow's Welsh National Day.
Yeah, exactly.
This was the moment in the sun. Do you? What do you do? Do you sit watching it? Do you get everyone out? Do you have a little tear going down you with a little bit of 85 port, which I know is your tipple.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that Welsh national anthem gets played, and it resonates with me for sure.
Borodar, he says first thing, of course. Big day tomorrow, of course, at Chepstow. Let us know who wins that. Let us know, of course, who's your fancy over the Christmas period. We've got some gaps in between the races today. Thrilled to say we're going up for the Roll and Merrick as well at 1:35 at Wetherby. That is a tasty treat, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a cracking race as well, isn't it? I mean, again, it's a real corker this time around,
Yeah, we've got 9 set to go to Poste, of course. The final race of the day here. Great to have you with us, guys. It's King George time, and one of the greatest races, of any sphere ever. And Hugh Masson comes on. Let's kick off, Hugh. Merry Christmas to you, old boy. One of our usuals, and he says my nap is accidental legend in the 105 at Market Raisin. That's coming up then, isn't it, Hugh? 4-1. Has anyone had a look at that? Let's have a quick look. Let's go down. Let's see what he is on the exchange for you. Hugh, what's this coming from? Accidental agent. All right, yeah, Fergal O'Brien, last time out winner. Good luck with that. We'll keep an eye on it in the studio for you. As I say, we'll be keeping an eye on all things Leopardstown as well. This, I mean, for Jumps fans, Dublin, Barry, is obviously extremely important now. Its place in the calendar, is a breeding ground for the following month's festival winners, isn't it? But this is special, right? You've got Downrun, of course. We've got a really good card at Punchestown coming up, of course, on New Year's Eve. It's all to play for, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, Dave. It's a cracking 4 days racing in Leopardstown. It features heavily on any racing fans' calendar over here. It's chock-a-block with quality. And Willie Mullins historically will unleash some of his top novices, be it in bumpers or novice hurlers or maiden hurlers at this festival. So anyone who's kind of been pumped in anti-post markets and novice races are doing so on the blind until they see what Willie has unleashed. But we've already seen a couple of nice horses today, as you say. So I'm sure we're going to see plenty more. We've got the juvenile hurdle coming up and the mare Lossiemouth, who looked a really smart prospect when landing the Grade 2 in Fairyhouse at their Christmas festival, or their December festival just a couple of weeks ago. So, yeah, it's a big highlight. And horses that tend to win here will go on to the Dublin Racing Festival in February as well, which is good to see. It's the next natural progression for them.
We've got Constitution Hill running today, Barry, and we've got Facile Vega tomorrow as well. He's going to be, around about 4s on, I would imagine, for that future novices Grade 1?
Yeah, he's around that day, 4 or 5s on, yeah.
What price on the sportsbook is he at the moment for the Supreme? This is the opening race, guys, of the Cheltenham Festival. This is the champion bumper winner, of course, also unbeaten.
Who?
Facile. What price is he for
Facile Vega?
for the Supreme?
Even money the last time I looked. Yeah, evens.
Is that a bit?
Ridiculous price.
Yeah, that's a bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
we've seen.
Let's sit back and let him have his say.
There's a lot of short prices, aren't there, for this year's Cheltenham Festival, aren't there? And I think that it's because the bookmakers are a bit scared of people just bunging them all in multiples. And history tells us that when Willie Mullins brings these short prices horses to Cheltenham, they just win, don't they?
There is the treble on the first day, of course, which we flagged hopefully early for you. Of course, you've got Facile, you've got Constitution, and
John Bon.
John Bon. as Batch would call
Yeah.
it.
And Mullins will have one in the mares, won't he?
Well, that might
Is that on the
be
same
case.
day now, or is it they've changed that day?
I can't remember.
I get lost by the calendar.
They do
now,
move around. But yeah, 5 to 4 seems a bit skinny to me. Who basically straight after the champion bumper went to back Facile Vega is the question I'm asking out there. Who is the one odds-on favourite at Cheltenham at the moment that you're going to have a go at? I've got one. I've got one, and he runs on the Wednesday. Can you guess who it is? It's a bit controversial. It's going to be for everyone out there.
Energumene.
I think he's underpriced. Yeah, I do.
Well, you're against him.
Well, just look at his form. Have a very good look through his form. I suggested on What a Shout when we recorded. Look at G1, he's thinking, someone taking the heat off me. Happy days. I think Energumene, I'm not saying he's the lay of the festival, but he would be one that I would... I think you need to have a good look at him. I think Edwardstone... Look, that Tingle Creek run, if you're taking the second, I think if you've got a Granatine that has run in champion chases and the likes... The Granatine that will run in the champion chase will not be as good as the Granatine that runs around Sandown. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
And I think he beat him absolutely cold, despite the fact he hadn't had a prep run, and despite the fact that he'd been in the lorry a few times, and it was all a bit of a mess, wasn't it, coming out? I was massively taken by Edwardstone. But it's more an inspection of Energumene's form.
Right.
I'm not...
Well, the only time he came up against a really good horse, he got beat, didn't he?
Correct. And the champion chase totally fell apart. Shackham was the gamble of the race for them. On the morning, I know that Tony Bloom seemingly had a go on his winner. And look, I think Energumene is a worldie. I think he's absolutely lovely. And, nothing against the horse at all. Love him. But I'm just looking at the price. And I think that the books have got Edwardstone in pretty short, Barry, for good reason, haven't they? They obviously respect him a lot. Straight after the Tingle Creek, when he went 5 to 2, what is he on the sportsbook at the moment? Edwardstone and Energumene for the champion chase.
For the Queen Mom Champion Chase on the Wednesday, Edwardstone's a 2-1 chance, evens and Energumene at 16 bar the two of them.
You're agreeing with me then?
Can I tell you though, the worst price favourite at the Cheltenham Festival?
Go on, let's get it going.
Galopin de Champ is an absolutely ridiculous price for
Bruce
the Gold
Millington
Cup.
thinks this might be the lay of the festival.
It's an absolutely ridiculous price. I mean, he looks really good, but I mean, he hasn't beaten a good horse yet, has he?
Let's go to Barry because the John Durkan finally made it on, and it was. He beat Fakir Duderi's cold, didn't he?
Oh, come on,
Barry. What price did he go for the Gold Cup after the John Durkan? You must have clipped him a little bit.
Yeah, he's 13 days favourite for the Gold Cup. Yeah, I'd agree with G-Rod. That's you'd be laying that. You'd get up in the middle of the night to lay 13 days about him in the Gold Cup. Like, there's so much water to pass under the bridge between now and then. Like, that Platard come back to his best tomorrow or this week. Yvonne Pressa can put his hand up today. Noble Yates, they reckon he's a Gold Cup contender. You put Takarad in there, you Brave Man's Game. There's several horses in there that can put their hand up. You'd be looking to take him on. My best bet at the meeting runs on the Wednesday as well, Dave.
Go on.
At the moment, my best bet at the meeting at around a 2-1 chance. Delta work in the cross country.
A lot of talk about him being the Gordon banker this year.
Just beat Tiger Roll last year, 21 lengths back to the third. What's going to beat him in it this year? He's no Tiger Roll in there.
Yeah, he's done.
What price is he at the moment?
Who?
It's a 2-1 chance.
Twos. Oh, I like this. Look, we're getting it. We're getting it out. So, and
I might put a little charity multi together.
Whoa.
We leave out G-Rod's, whatever odds on chance he's looking to stick him on.
But John Bond's an absolute certainty, isn't he?
This is what you think, isn't it?
John Bond's an absolute
certainty.
certainty.
What did you
for
make?
the Arsenal,
This is great, guys. And let's open up this chat. Let's hear from you. You can get involved. This is your chance to press like and subscribe on YouTube if you're watching that, guys. If you're on Facebook Live, the guys are looking out there. If you're on Twitter, we'll try and see what you're reacting to as well. But let's hear it from you. Come on. This is a day to celebrate jumps racing. We've got time in between, and it's alive. So we've still got the King George to come, of course, and you're going to throw in an interesting one for the Gold Cup soon. I don't know when we're going to do that, but of course we've got Long Press running today. He looks a very solid one to me for the Gold Cup, but then I'm not putting him up in today's race, so it's fascinating, isn't it? Go on then.
Oh, John Bond, to win the Arkle. He'll win the Arkle, won't he? Everyone will just run scared of him for a
Jimmy
start.
Duff, put down the sherry, Jimmy Duff. Look at this, G-Rod, the voice of reason. Price is ludicrous.
Yes, thanks.
Appreciate it, serve it up to him or not?
I think that Willie will duck and dive with that. I think you'll be seeing that over 2.5 miles, won't you? He won't be fancying taking on John Bond, will he? He'd be like, oh, no. It'd be too difficult, wouldn't he?
Is that the line of the current jump season so far? Duck and dive.
Duck and dive.
It caused a right stir, didn't
Ducking
it?
and
Gordon
diving,
threw a
all that-
little G-Rod grenade in the game.
All those duckers and divers out in Ireland, He'd be ducking and diving, though, Willie. Oh, there's no way he's
Who's
going
the
to
biggest ducker and
No
diver?
way he's going to run Appreciate, is it? Willie's the biggest ducky and diver, isn't he? He's a massive ducker and diver.
Well, he's not at this meeting, but yeah, I know what you mean. Now, listen, it was aimed at British trainers, probably Henderson was the top. Paul obviously came out, who is not a ducker and diver. I think we
He
can
done
say
some
that.
ducking and diving last year at the festival, didn't he? With 10 winners, 3 seconds, and 7 thirds. That's a lot of ducking and diving.
Oh, you have to do a lot of ducking and diving to get 10 winners, didn't you? You know.
What, the Cheltenham Festival?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, okay.
He's the chief ducker and diver, that
So-
Mullins bloke.
Banker, G-Rod banker, John Bon in the Arkle.
Yeah, the banker is John Bon in the Arkle.
You think he's certain to go odds on?
I think he'll definitely go off odds on. He's the best. He's the best novice chaser we've seen for years, is he not?
Did you feel about El Fabiolo, Barry, after he came out? He's a little bit sticky.
Yeah, I was impressed with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed with him. He's a nice horse. He's into 7-2 for the race. Phil Dorr, Hollow Games, either of them can put their hands up today. You've Kilcruton there as well. I think you can't be so dogmatic about any of these races until you see what happens this week in Ireland.
Yeah.
He'll probably run that, won't he? El Fabiolo. He'll probably run that in the Arkle.
Well, that form was seen to very good effect. That's because Hallasan came out and he looked good as well, I thought, by the way. Okay, Flef Kelf. Quite. John Bon is the best jumper and therefore should win the Arkle.
Yeah, we've got some really good emailers coming
There's
in,
a lot
haven't
of-
we?
there's a lot
really
of
good. You know,
people obviously
there's a lot of
are-
people who actually speak sense here.
They're bang on the Boxing Day
Not on the
show
panel,
already,
but
'cause-
they're emailing in.
Look, we love to hear from you guys. You make the show. Keep coming in. Let's hear it. All about Cheltenham. What about Fedor then? Of course, in the brand new Racing Post app, Novice Chase, we were sponsoring this over at Leopardstown. Of course, Fernie Hollow won it last year. And
£6 allowance could make a big difference, couldn't it? The weight for age.
Fedor. Gordon obviously likes to run 4-year-olds in this race.
Clarkham.
River Dete ran in it as a 4-year-old with the fillies allowance. Clarkham was another one as well.
Yeah.
He done some homework if you find it.
He's no good. I don't think he's any good, Phil Dorr.
You don't think he's any good?
No, I
But
don't
you
think
take
he's
him
any
on at
good.
odds on today, would you?
Oh,
think
yeah,
he'll win
I
that
think he'll
today.
get beat today.
We're going to keep an eye on that for you. That's the
Yeah.
grade 1 over there today. Hollow Games.
I think St. Roy beat him if they want to.
Say what?
St. Roy.
We need Matty Batchin to pronounce
Yeah.
that, don't we?
Yeah, you know, like if they
He's
want to.
fun, it's a funny horse, isn't he? He's gone off the radar, and since that county hurdle win, it just never happened for him, did it?
Someone suggested that they might be thinking Grand Annual already with St. Roy.
And
I was like, how can you possibly be thinking Grand Annual's only had one run?
That is a magnificent shout, whoever put that up. That's what we love. That's what still, for me, keeps Cheltenham so
You've
exciting.
got to do some
I
ducking
think.
and diving to get that set up, haven't you?
You've got to
You've got to do some
Who
proper
trains it?
ducking and diving.
Who trains it?
I think Mullins did it.
Yeah. We all bumped into Patrick, didn't we, at HWPA Awards lunch, and he was on very, very good form. And he, towards the end of the night, he was giving a bit more away than he might normally do. But obviously, the galloping to show. I asked him about Dark Raven actually, and he suggested that he might be worth a euro on today. The Raven takes flight. He was quoted for the Ballymore, the Munir horse. He's unbeaten as well, Barry. He looked a little bit workmanlike, I suppose, at the finish, but 2 came well clear, and I'd say the Gordon horse in second. Dr. Dino, was it? What was it called in second? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dino,
Dr.
Dino
Bravo,
or something,
yeah.
yeah.
Or whatever
Dr.
it
Dino's
was.
a sire, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that posting. First mince pie in my face.
Yes.
What
You don't
price
need
did
any
you
more
go Dark
mince pies.
Raven for the Ballymore, Barry? I'd say he's a right horse now. Whether he quite is up to winning that, I'm not sure, but he's a serious animal.
20 from 33.
What's that nice race at the Dublin Racing Festival over 2-4? I'd be very keen
Probably
to see him
got
go
3
for
or
that.
4 at home better than that.
What, Dark Raven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what Patrick told you?
No, he didn't. Patrick
He was
on
being
very
nice.
good form.
He was being nice.
He's always nice to Dave Orton,
Yeah.
that's for sure. I saw he swerve.
He didn't want to rain on your parade.
No, quite right. He usually makes a quick exit, but he was there for a bit of a
Dave was just
bit of a
having
crash.
a
They've
Jaeger
Gaelic
bomb.
Warrior in the same race, don't they?
He's entered in all sorts of things, isn't he? Gaelic Warrior.
Well,
I
he's
think
in
he's
that
quite good.
anyway. He's our favourite. He's 5-1 favourite for that.
Is he?
Horse that won 86 lengths.
I mean, they just
Whatever happened to a distance?
They just love Tremor, don't they? Yeah, whatever happened to a good old-fashioned distance? Got to be more specific now, Barry. There are people out there that count these things. All right, so look, we're one race down, guys. Champ was sunk, and his old rival Paisley Park. What a thrill that was! Not only for the tipsters amongst us, Racing Post #1 tipster.
Where
We're
do you
keeping an
rank?
eye on Leopardstown here, lads. Lossiemouth. Obviously, we're going to get to see her again. And she could cement her position at the head of the market for the Triumph Pearl.
What price is she currently for the Triumph, Barry?
Currently for the Triumph Pearl, she is 11-4 favourite. Quite one-sided as well, because it's 10 bars. Arctic the Brave is 10.
Madness,
She
isn't it?
surely can't be much shorter than that on the day, can she?
Well, it depends.
What price was Vauban last year on the day? About 15 to 8 or something?
Well, there were two. Fedor was a creditable rival, wasn't he? And as was the other thing, Pied Piper, of course.
Yeah.
So it looked like a meaty
It's like
race,
that thing that you put up in the 2023 the other day, best bets for 2023, Hidden Valley Lake. I mean, what price can that be on the day? I'm not saying I don't think it'll win. I think it's got a great chance, but there's no way it's 6 to 1. I think it's going to be about 9 to 2 on the day.
When I sent you that copy in, did you have a little chuckle to yourself? Did you?
No, because I like the horse, but it's just the price. It's just
if you actually read it, you're supposed to sub it. If you actually read it, at the very bottom of it, I said 6 to 1 at the time of writing. Could look big on the day.
It won't look big on the day. It'd be about 9 to 2, wouldn't he?
I'm
you
now
might
going
as
to
well
have
just
to check
wait
that
to the
copy.
day and then take a point shorter, and you haven't got to worry for the next 3 months.
Here is what my reasoning was. Half the battle, lads, at this time of year and lasses, is that knowing what is going to run where. Is this a year where we think we might know what's running where already? The favourites, I mean.
Well, anything that's not trained by Willie Mullins.
Well, surely Fassal goes for the Supreme. But there was that thing before he ran, of course, over. Is he going to need a champion bumper? Is he going to need a bit further? So, of course, will he go?
Yeah, but you need to stay to win a Supreme anyway, don't you? I think having a blend of speed and stamina is very important.
But surely he runs there, doesn't he?
Oh,
surely John Bon runs in the Arkle Run.
It depends what comes out and wins, and Willie has a look and thinks, oh, well, can that beat me? Or what's the easiest race for me to win? And he'll just put Fassal Vega in the easiest race that he thinks he can win.
The Albert Bartlett in particular is the race you would imagine that sees a lot of, will we go? It's a bit like National Hunt Chase Proud Advisory, isn't it?
Nap's just gone in.
Oh, well done, Hugh Masson.
Hugh Masson is in.
The Christmas stocking is full at the Masson household.
Good man.
Yeah, good man. We were keeping an eye on that, or Poste was. I thought you were a bit quiet. They were about to jump off at Leopardstown as well. Lossy Mouth was put up by Keels in the big jump off for us. He said he's a little bit close to the connections, and say the least. And he got told that was the one. So she won very well, didn't she?
Yeah, she looked very good, didn't she?
Mares in Triumphs. It's all right, isn't it? Annie Power, etc.
Yeah, I suppose you know that she'll run there, won't you? She's not going to go somewhere else.
Well, all being well, she's got to go and win this, of course. Tom Segel put up Kugo, of course, and it seems like there's been a bit of a move for Garden.
But you see, what happened last year with Mullins, of course, was his best novice was Sir Gerhard, looked for all the world like he wanted 2 miles, but Willie saw that Constitution Hill was in there and John Bon was in there and went, oh, don't know if I fancy running against them, I'll stick him in the 2.5 mile race, and then he won it. So at odds on. So Willie just chooses the best race. So it depends on what turns up in that.
Is that what training's all about, though?
Don't get him started on that.
It's not, is it?
What do you mean it's not? Of course it is.
It's not, is it? I mean,
his job is to win the most races for his owners, so he's going to choose the weakest option to run in.
But that's not very good, exciting to
Well,
watch,
Henry
is
de
it?
Bromhead might be doing it, mightn't he? So, you know...
Honeysuckle, the Mares is still on the Tuesday.
Should we just have a little?
We don't even want to talk about it.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, but we
Yeah,
can't reference you were angry with us for suggesting that Honeysuckle was nearly done with and couldn't possibly be.
I think again it is short-sighted to say she is done with. She got beat, and now in life you have to reflect and sometimes accept that potentially I
got 4 to 1 was the biggest Christmas present you've ever heard of. I think she's out to 8s now, and she probably...
Will she be bigger on the day or not?
She won't even run.
No.
Yeah, we've got Matty Batch joining us on New Year's Eve, guys, and when Posty and Batch, and especially with Barry now joining us, so it's going to be a lively show.
Is it not the case that she was not that good in the first place?
Oh, that's not right. Let's move on to Kempton.
Oh my!
Let's move on to Kempton.
How much red wine did you drink yesterday? Honestly,
he fell down the stairs and dropped a glass. Did you hear about it?
No, he's the only man that I know that instead of going to bed with a glass of water, takes a glass of red wine up and puts it by the bedside table.
G-Rod came in to the office, Barry, today, and he said, I fell down the stairs last night with a glass of red wine. We went, how much did you drink? He said, no, I was clearing up. He said, but this morning you were getting the spray paint out. Whatever you were getting spray paint out for your wall, I've got no idea. But the fumes have gone to your head,
he's worried,
mate.
yeah.
I think I should have worn a mask when I was spray painting.
Absolutely. Oh, dear.
Visions of him with the graffiti can out on the stairway.
We're keeping an eye on the famous Leopardstown. Knight Frank, of course, in all the great names. The Knight Frank Juvenile has been always a precursor for at the big races, of course. coming up in the juvenile division. Probably this and what's the other one at the Dublin? What's it called? The Spring, isn't it? The Spring Juvenile.
Lossiemouth is keen here. She's keen.
Spring Juvenile.
She's travelling very strong.
JP's got one. Well, they're all a bit keen, aren't they? They're just hacking around. But Barry will be keeping fingers on the buzzers, guys. All the anti-post moves today. We've got, of course, 235 is the King George. 9 going to post. We're going to go through them one by one for you. We'll get a word. We want to hear from you. Give us your 1, 2, 3s if you want in the King George. Always one of the highlights over here. But we must move back on to Kempton now because it's another Grade 1. Yes, you are being treated, aren't you? And it's the Corto star, of course. I remember Nigel Clark. And this has been an interesting market, this, Barry, because McFabulous looked like he might be on the slide. 1 of 2 for Paul, of course. An 8-year-old in the race over fences.
Yeah, he was an even money chance on the sportsbook at one stage, 5-4 on the exchange, out to 2-1. He's 2.92 now. The mare in the race, the Skelton mare, Galia Diddle-a-Toe, has been really popular. Was around 7 and 6, is into 3.75. So 11-4 that. Jelena Bella 4.1. 286 now. McFabulous continues to attract support. 7.8 Time Hill is Fendless, along with Mortlock, who's the rag of the field at 50. I like Jelena Bello in it. I know he's only beat a grand total of 3 horses and 2 wins over fences so far and has a tendency to jump out to his right. But Grade 1 winner, and he won the Sefton Hurdle last year, albeit in a poor race, but he stayed on really well. What I like about him is his Blazing Cal form. Those couple of Grade 2s that he ran in Cheltenham before Blazing Cal was unfortunately ruled out last year. He really good form. Blazing Cal's a proper racehorse as well. I don't think we're going to get to see him again this year, unfortunately. But yeah, in Exeter and Wetherby, it was a bit of an issue, him jumping out to his right. But I think he's going to be okay here. I think the bigger field, when I say bigger field, he's 4 in against them. So I'm happy to be a backer here, G-Rod. He's currently 3.85 or 3.8. Happy to be a backer at that around 11-4 mark. So we're going to have 25 quid on him that we won in the first race by Lane Champ. I'm just looking at Lossiemouth here, and he's just let out a bit of rain, and away she goes. Are they jumping the last? It looks like they could be jumping the last.
Is this, what's this? Oh, that's Nusrat, isn't it, of course?
No, they're going
around it again.
Yeah, she's absolutely fine, isn't she?
But she's danced in, yeah.
Yeah, she has, and the second was back.
How much shorter can she get? She's already 11-4 fab in the race and a 10 bar. Like, what are you going to do? You make her a 5-2 chance now?
And we've not had the Hendo juveniles out. We've not had the Adonis over here, all that sort of stuff. Oh man, okay, that did look rather impressive though, Posty, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. It was very, like I say, she travelled almost over strong. Paul Townend looked like he was struggling to get her to sort of relax, and yeah, I mean she's absolutely bolted up though when he's let out an inch of rain, and she's a lovely way of galloping as well, and she really gets down to it, like drops her head low. Yeah. If
you lengthen the odds on that, guys, on the exchange and on the sportsbook and all that sort of stuff, then or distances or whatever, you've got G-Rod to thank because he said how much shorter, because she can't get much shorter. Of course, was always going to be an impressive win after that, and she'll probably go 9-4 now.
That's why he's the number 1.
That's why he's the number. Well, he's not actually the number 1. Because after the first race, the number 1's sitting right here.
There's still 4 races to go yet, Dave.
I'm still going to go and check that copy in a minute as well to say that you didn't, that Hidden Valley Lake line didn't go.
Where does Dave rank in the...
I don't think he registers, actually.
No.
That'd be ridiculous. Once again, I can see why they don't like your power rankings. Absolute nonsense. We should rank the tipsters,
Don't get
of course.
Batchy started on those.
Oh, yeah, God, Batchy loves them, doesn't he? Right, okay, so we know what Barry
does he
likes.
talk about them a lot?
Oh, he's
he's a fan, is he? Excellent.
6-4 from 11-4. Lossiemouth.
No way.
Wow, man. And what is that?
Ridiculous.
What's that? 10's bar, did you say, Barry?
10 bar, yeah.
Okay, we've got another one, guys, who could potentially go off odds on there.
Good look value on the day.
Could what? 6-4? You think it? Absolutely buying money.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
good Lord.
No way. No. She don't go off short than 6-4.
Well, you wanted to lay 11-4.
She could go off short than 6-4. Definitely she could.
No. It depends if they cut up a little bit as well, doesn't it? I don't know. Well, look, she was desperately impressive, though, whatever you see there, and she'd have winged the last of that gone as well. And like I said, the second was back. That was unbeaten going in, and Nusrat gives that strong form line then.
We're nearly off here.
We're nearly off then. We're all on Julino Bello here, lads, aren't we?
No, I'm on
where were you?
Galia de la Toe.
We're with you, Barry, the men that make most sense on this panel.
Go
on then. Why?
Because Skelton said she really badly needed to run before she bolted up at Bangor, both before and after the race.
Could have run Ballygriffin Cottage here.
Has
Won the race with Chamblew before.
Yeah, and I thought that she was mightily impressive when she won at Bangor, and she gets the £7 mares allowance, and I think the Bangor form might well be good enough anyway, and I think she'll improve from it. Can't have Fabulous. Absolute always comes unstuck in the top grade, doesn't he? And he will do again. If Gelino Bello's got a chance if she jumps off in front, but I don't know if she's going to. She's lining up in about third there.
We got another modern trend here in this race, Posty. I don't know if it's just the way the cards have fallen, but we've got some older novice chasers, haven't we?
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, we do have a few. We've got
She's a
Kilcrook
big
running
girl,
today. She's
isn't
7-year-old,
she?
going to be 8. She is a big girl, by the way. Appreciate it. He was an old Supreme winner, wasn't he? And we've got Time Hill as well, who jumped interestingly, shall we say. I
couldn't have him round Kempton, could you?
Kempton was when McFabulous finally showed what he was all about as a jumper, because he won the EBF final. Do you remember when no one was watching that Saturday after Cheltenham? And Nichols...
My concern is, does he really want a severe test over 3 miles? As in, I think last time at Newbury is the first time he's won over that far, and I just think this race can end up a bit of a real gruelling test, and that's why I'm with Gelino Bello.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, isn't it? I thought that Brian, he might want to get on with it, but he's actually being held up at the moment. I wonder whether they've got Wetherby in his mind a little bit. Again, the Brown advisory at the moment, that is the exception to the rule, isn't it? 10 to 1 the field. All right, let's see if we can cause any ripples in that. Interestingly, McFabulous, although it is a complete dawdle, has gone to line up in front. Upside, the whopping.
10 strides. How can you say it's a complete dawdle?
Because they're dawdling. Well, that's a dawdle. What do you think it is?
I think you need to see the race settle down 30 mile an hour now.
Hang on a minute. Look, this is really slow pace. This is, and Gelino Bello by default, the big old mare, has gone on with it. Mortlake, the outside of the lot, has got some pretty good form. Mortlake. Oh, hang on a minute. What we've got going on here then? Oh yeah.
Guessy at that.
Whoa, yes. Whoa. The mare has been overtaken almost by the back marker. Time Hill.
That she is a big girl, so otherwise she wouldn't have got over.
I tell you what, Time Hill is the proverbial. I backed it last time. I'm now jumping off it. That could be an egg on face here, couldn't it? He winged that fence.
He's your egg on face horse, Dave. He's your egg on face horse. Remember when he won his Grade 1?
Oh man, unbelievable! This was the horse that Ricky Johnson really got upset with, wasn't it? Because he thought he should have won the Albert Bartlett on him. Gelino Bello just hunting them up then, McFabulous. And the thing about Time Hill, he jumped, what was it, like a box of spanners or whatever it was called. But that second fence post, he winged. And who's this?
Gelino Bello's absolutely walked through the first one down the back. Yeah,
that's called benching a fence, isn't it? When they
breasting it, no?
Breasting it?
Yeah, I would go. I've never heard of benching it. Yeah.
I've got an autonism coming up. I'm sure I've written
He was a little bit ponderous there as well. Kind of dragged his back legs.
Yeah, but they're going to do that, a horse, aren't they? After they've just got a load of birch on them.
Well, you hope they're going to learn quickly. They don't want to be doing that too often. Harry Cobden just reached down and adjusted his iron. McFabulous was put down a couple of times early on, and he did there, got in deep.
Jeez, there's some novice jumping going on here.
I think the one thing we can say, guys, it'll be something of a surprise if we win the Brown advisory. I say we, being the British, of course. The Irish do seem to have the stronger novice chasers, bar the 2 mile division, of course, by some way. All right then, so what about it? Let's have some in-running socials come on as well. Come on here. Let's hear from you out there. But Barry, we're just about to enter the home straight for the first time.
Yeah, and we're 6-4 McFabulous now. I had a bet for SP of nearly 3-1, but into 6-4 in running. Outside of that, Time Hill's your second favourite now at 3.45. They don't want to be with the mare Galicia. She's 6.2, 5.5. Gelino Bello 6.6 now after making that bad mistake. But seems to have corrected himself at the fences since he breasted that third fence. But McFabulous your favourite, sub 6-4.
Can he overcome the benching? That's the question.
Well, yeah.
I don't know, but I guess the good thing if you're with Gelino Bello is that they've all sort of made a semblance of a Horlicks at one so far. If anything, the best jumper in the race so far, dare I say, is the back marker.
Yeah, Time Hill is actually fenced really well throughout this. Like you say, the cheap pieces seem to have sharpened him up. I think they said they had at school and at home. Again, Harry Cobden has sort of made a market decision to go forward and take the lead outright. Yeah, he's
aggressive, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I just wonder though, Barry, if he kept putting down, making a short stride over his fences down the back, and I wonder if Harry just felt they weren't going quick enough and he wanted to get on with the job, so he's kind of sent him about his work a little bit more, a couple of taps down the shoulders.
He did that at Newbury though, didn't he? He sort of cracked on with it, didn't he? He could see that Time Hill wasn't, jumping well. He just went, come on then, let's get on
and a
with
jockey riding at the top of his game as well to
yeah,
make those decisions and make it happen.
Future champion, all being well and by, absolutely long odds on, isn't it? But Giannino Bello is just hunting him up in third. The mare, G, what are you thinking? You've gone quiet.
Yeah, I don't think she's going very well. She's absolutely walked through 2 fences so far. Luckily, she is a big girl, so she's managed to get from one side to the other. When Harry makes her mind up, she's very good, but she doesn't seem to be very clever when she has to go in and make her own decisions.
Yeah, well, she's she's an epitome of a novice. She was really good there. That was a nice scopy jump. Time Hill probably the slowest of the lot, but absolutely clean over it. Now they're going to start revving up, I think, guys, and don't forget, slightly quicker on the chase course it is as well. This is the first chase, of course, we're bringing you from Kempton today, and it looks like we've got, good surface for them all in the King George.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it? We're winging along now. Your Time Hill's going well, Dave. I would be a little bit worried if I was you.
Hang on a minute. What do you mean my Time Hill?
Well, you said that he'd be your egg on face horse.
Well, I think he's a lot of people's egg on face horse, isn't he? You were sort of with him and then against him. But again, when's the last time an 8-year-old won this race? Someone get on Wiki and let us know. It must have been ages ago. Over they go then.
He's flown that.
Now, Giannino Bello now wants to get involved, doesn't he?
Now.
Yeah, he does. Just going caught on heels, slightly behind again. Bryony
What does she do, Bryony,
away.
here then?
Well, I think really she doesn't want to come 5 wide, so she's going to have to sit and wait
and sit and
hope that
Fabulous
keeps taking her into the race.
Yeah.
I mean, again, they're still. I mean, they're probably 6-7 furlongs out here. A lot of racing still to do. Long run to the third last.
Well, Paddy Brennan said, "Hang on a minute, I'm
Harry Skelton's beat."
Yeah, the mare's
he's
gone.
pulled up. Skelton's pulled up.
Yeah, the mare's gone. She just wasn't on a going day. Maybe one of those gruelers. What we got here then going?
Giannino Bello.
Giannino Bello 1 out of 2 men, and it's the old rivals then, McFabulous. It looks like Mortlack's about to crack then. The 61
surely
This is the egg on face.
Time Hill surely wins. He's going to outstay him.
You're loving this,
He's going to outstay him.
This is going to be revenge.
Come on, Time Hill.
Who the one on Time Hill?
Yeah, because they know he's the strongest there, Barry. I think that's the question. But I'll tell you what, I don't know, 3 fences to go. This world-famous third last, whoever's going to meet it the best. So I'll tell you what, McFabulous isn't cracked yet. Has he posted?
Yeah,
he hasn't yet.
He's gone, though. Forget him. He's gone. It's just Time Hill all the
at
way.
This is Tom O'Brien thinking this is what we expected at Newbury. And could we yet put ourselves back in contention for the Cheltenham Festival?
He's going to eat him.
Back on the bridle.
He's back on the bridle.
Cruising.
Look at this. The body language, there's only one winner, and he's got 1.12 on the exchange. 2 out, then here we go. And he's going to just nose in front. McFabulous a little bit short into it.
All over.
And his old rival is going to absolutely breast him if he gets over the last.
Only the jumps.
There's another reference to
He's
breasting.
going clear. Looking good.
Yeah, McFabulous is walking now,
He's
guys.
just that great.
And woo!
Oh, look at that.
Absolutely flown it.
Like. Okay, we'll get the teeth stuck into this form, but what does that say for the rest of the British novices staying division? He's
6-4 for the RSA. 6-4. Get it in.
And the egg is now on face. He's going to be 9 Posty when he goes to the RSA, or the Brown Advisory, it's now known. But let's get the story of the race with Barry first.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, Dave. There was no real massive in-running story there. Other Time Hill traded at a high of 9.2 just for very small money. Outside of that, you had McFabulous traded at a low of 2.1, which is 11 to 10. Giannino Bello that fell, 3 out, traded a low of 3.2. I think that was pre-race, and the Skelton mare trade a low of 3.15, just waiting to get a line 12 from 40 for the National Hunt Chase.
Well, that's the race for him, I think, isn't it? That's the race for Time Hill, surely. A lot of judges at the start of the season put him up for the Brown Advisory, but he's a 9-year-olds can win the National Hunt Chase historically. When was the last 9-year-old to win a Brown Advisory?
Yeah.
Come on.
You're going back a
Do some work. You're supposed to be number 1 tipster. You can let us know at least. All right, let's see what we've got out here. Look at. Oh, I love this. Look at this.
8 from 14 for the Brown Advisory.
8. That just about making favourite, Barry, wouldn't it? Before we go to Will Harwood.
Q-Rod.
Yeah.
Q-Rod.
Look at this social. That's great.
He's going to follow Q-Rod.
This is absolutely brilliant. Aye, Dave. Merry Christmas from Western Australia, Perth. Aye, the Willie Pike in the last. Going to follow Q-Rod for the rest of the day. He must have had an extra shot of sherry in the trifle this year. Love him. We love him as well. But Q-Rod, there's a new one. Sounds like you're an R&B. Q-Rod. Isn't like an R&B star all of a sudden, aren't you?
Let's not get him rapping.
Whatever you do. Q-Rod, there you go. All right, well, that sounds like the Racing Post number one.
Fair play to Philip Hobbs there. I mean, positive decision. The cheap pieces they seem to make a massive difference, didn't they?
They'll be thinking, why didn't we slap them on ages ago? Or is it a case of saving them? I mean, Nichols saves them for the moment usually.
Yeah.
Fabulous has won for a long, long time, but they do. There is a sort of theory, isn't there? And they do say, trainers, that we want, they don't always have the same positive effect first time up.
No, of course not.
So
but, I mean, that was a positive decision, and it worked.
I would go National Hunt Chase. That would be me with him, and I'd be interested in him there. This is.
Do you think he'd jump round there? Okay, I know I did.
jumps
He was
like
at
that.
Newbury.
I know I said
He jumped that ditch, didn't he? Do you remember we gave it about 10 foot?
He absolutely flew the last, didn't he? Absolutely flew the last.
But he was just sharper, wasn't he? Like his whole jumping technique, it was slicker and quicker,
And the egg on face for many of us out there. We put a line through Time Hill, didn't we?
Someone's put. Sorry, it's just realised. Look, someone's put my name.
Q-Rod, assistant betting editor.
G-Rod.
Emphasis on assistant.
G-Rod number one tipster. Q-Rod assistant betting editor. two alter egos.
Oh dear, Q-Rod, that's going to stick. William, great to have you watching from Perth. We know we've got loads of international viewers here on the show. We know you haven't always got the pictures. That's why we try and talk you through the races as we're going. But this is really the nuts and the bolts of these shows, isn't it? If you make fabulous...
Didn't stay.
Am I right in thinking that if you are a 2 mile 4 hurdler, you've got more chance of getting 3 miles over fences?
It's
a rule that I've stuck with.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I mean, he looked like a non-stayer there, didn't he?
He had to do the donkey work a bit
He's
there,
soft,
didn't he?
isn't he?
He's a bit soft.
He's soft. Yeah, he's good when he wins easily, but when he has to really dig deep, does he like it?
Has he run to form there, or has he run below the Newbury form and Time Hill's kind of run to his rating? Of course, around about 6 p.m. in your members club, of course, and the next day's paper, you should see all the analysts telling you exactly what has happened in these races.
I feel he's ran up to where he's sort of at. I think he's been beat by a better horse on the day.
Janino Bello came down too far out to know what would have happened with him.
Yeah, it was a shame because jumping had warmed up, and actually he didn't. If you go back, he was just long at the fence and landed a little bit steep and just almost caught his toe and knuckled over it. He didn't make a major jumping mistake there, but he did walk through a couple. And the mare, Galia de Leto, just never got into any sort of rhythm.
No, I wonder. The weird thing is that. I just thought that she didn't look that happy on the ground. She was sort of always struggling to go to pace.
And yet you think with a saddler maker, she should love testing conditions. Heavy at Bangor when she won last time out.
How soft is it? Do you think it's soft? How soft is the soft?
Well, we're going to find out because we'll give you the time. But again, they dawdled over the first. I know you were taking some. These jockeys annoy you because you try and as a senior racing analyst,
as a senior
racing analyst. I've hung my hat as a career on how fast or slow. This is why I always think that sectionals and jump racing, it can be subjective because you've got to watch the start of the race. Because was it Ruby Walsh? I was talking about it recently over Constitution Hill. He was talking about visuals, wasn't he, and all that sort of stuff. But I think there's a lot of merit in that. Last 9-year-old to win the Brown Advisory, commonly known to a lot of you as the RSHF. Last 9-year-old, very famous horse.
How long ago?
1992. Peter Scudamore rode for Martin Pipe. Mini Homer.
Oh.
Yeah, very famous horse,
Since 1992.
Yeah.
Right, we've got to go to Wetherby because previous winner, Barry of the Corto Star, a couple of years ago was Shan Blue. He's a really popular horse. The Charlie Hall we saw, this is his first return day. He had them all cold, didn't he? Jumping 3 outs. He couldn't go on with it. But he was beaten off this mark at Aintree when signing off. Do you like him?
Yeah, I was giving him a decent chance, but he was sub 2-1 at the time. He was around a 7-4 chance. He's 5-2 now, so he's on a little bit of a drift. Into Overdrive's 5.9, 8.8 Sounds Russian, Fanny and Destravel 9.8, 11 Chantry House and Sport John, the 2 JP McManus horses, and it's 19 bar. I like Sounds Russian in it, Dave. And G-Rod, I'm happy to be a price taker here at 8.8. Obviously, he's an improving sort of horse. No, he's by Sholokov. I think that's a sire you like, Charlie, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he's definitely a horse that's improved immeasurably. Like he was rated 1-2-1 this time last year. He's rated 157 now. His run behind Noble Yates he didn't throw in the towel when they all went by him in Aintree. You know, Dashel Drasher, Ahoy Senior, and Noble Yates, when they went by him. He stayed on again at the finish. I just really like his resolution, this horse. And like I said, happy to be a backer. He's out to 9 now, so he has been on the drift. But we're going to have 25 quid win on him, please, G-Rod.
This is everything a handicap should be, guys. And dropping down from the Mini Clouds Chase is Sounds Russian. And I'm with Barry all the way on that. If anything, he looked like future national horse to me. He looked like he really wanted a trip. National horse, of course, won that race. And hype behind the sofa, Barry. But G-Rod, or Q-Rod as I should now call you, is in agreement.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this Sounds Russian is the bet of the day, is he not?
This is nap time, is it?
Yeah, I mean, this race...
Barry's loving that.
This race that he ran in at Aintree, I think, is the strongest race that has been run all season in Britain.
Over fences.
Over fences. Noble Yates won it. Dashel Drasher was second, Grade 1 winning chaser. Third was Ahoy Senior, Grade 1 winning chaser. And fourth was Sounds Russian. The time was very solid. They finished the race very quickly. They were 39 lengths clear of the fifth, was Sam Brown, who obviously had decent course form at Aintree, having won a good handicap round there.
You think you saw the Gold Cup winner?
I think the Gold Cup winner won it, Noble Yates. Yeah, he'll win the Gold Cup.
Whoa.
Ahoy Senior is going to win the King George today.
Whoa.
And Sounds Russian is going to win this race. And it's going to prove that this race at Aintree, this Many Clouds Chase, is the best race run in Britain all season.
It's hard to argue with that. It is hard to argue with that. Poste, you with Sounds Russian. Bruce Jefferson's Missile.
No, I'm not. But I did think the number one tipster makes a very good case there, and I actually agree with a lot of what he said.
Do you think Noble Yates wins the Gold Cup then, do you?
I think he's a player.
Weird, isn't it? We're going to talk a little bit about that after this race.
Why is he 10-1 for the Gold Cup?
Let's get a social on screen. Who's on? Stevie M comes and says, Shamblu is a class above these if bouncing back. Are you tipping your mate Skelton's horse here? They're off and running.
I'm with Chantry House.
Oh my goodness, so am I, and I didn't even know that. Now this is the biggest egg on face horse, and I think that this might just be a little bit like Sounds Russian and Fanny and Destrivan, a couple of horses like this, class horses.
I think the jockey booking is interesting.
Go on.
I think Robbie Dunn is very good on staying chasers, and this horse hasn't always been the best jumper. I think he's an interesting booking.
He's a little bit lit up, isn't he? But you remember this day last year, he won a favourite for the King George. And here we are in the Road of Merit. I like him, Barry. They've gone over 2 fences. What is the exchange like?
Yeah, well, Shamblu's out to 11-4. Sounds Russian, who's anchored at the back of the field, is into 8, 5.1 into Overdrive, 9.4 Chantry House. So he's shortened significantly from his Betfair SP.
Yeah, okay, so we're thinking... I remember when he beat a horse called Coconut Splash in his Novice Chase around Wetherby. He really likes the track as well, I think. So, class angle, and I know... I basically put up the case earlier in the week that he's not the sort of horse you want to be with at even money. But around about 10s, which he was at the time, I can get involved. Into Overdrive, we're going to see more Gold Cup form advertised here, potentially, and for the King George, because Into Overdrive finished second to Long Press, of course, last time out. Could he give a boost? I've got a feeling that Long Press... is near certain now to go off favourite, isn't he, in the King George?
I would have thought so, yeah.
Brave Man's was being dangled, wasn't he, a bit? Zanza out the back here. The Newbury lover showed his true class, didn't he? Could it be a quick double here for Philip Hobbs? That'd be great, wouldn't it, on Boxing Day? This is such a good handicap. We've got Topville Ben in third.
Fanny and Destraval as well. Ran all right.
He was badly hampered by the start there. Do you remember we covered that, didn't we?
And he ran all right.
Lucy Taylor did quite well to get him as close as she did, really. And she said, they were all interviewed coming back in by chappers, weren't they? Which is something we might like to see a bit more of, guys, isn't it, from the Beaten Connection? She was like a massive smile, and she said, we just had no chance to start. Kalashnikov here, the pick of Tom Siegel. Price-wise, good to see him back, G.
Yep, Siegel is back. What do you think about Shamblu? Is he beat?
Where is he?
He's beat, isn't he, Shamblu?
He's trading at 5-2, so the market suggests he's not.
He can't win from there, can he?
As we know, the exchange...
What's wrong
Are you joking? Are you watching a different race?
He needs to lead, doesn't he?
Oh, that's interesting. Now, let's hone in on that a bit, because he is a horse that usually, has them cold. If you remember when he won the Corto Star, the big breakaway, nearly ate every fence and still nearly caught him because he was out on his feet. He had them cold. They're obviously doing a Goshen here, aren't they, and riding him to get home, because he was well and truly beaten at Aintree. Okay, only by 1, but that was his first time at the trip. Obviously, he'd won the
He was
Charlie
held
Hall.
up in those 2 runs.
He's beat. He ain't going to win from there.
Up in those 2 runs.
He's beat.
Okay, so
Put another 0 on it.
Is this
beat.
going to be a 2023
He's well beat,
coin
Shamblou.
phrase? Hang on a minute,
I mean,
I'll trademark
Sean
that.
Quinlan, interestingly, has given him a couple of smacks down the shoulder with his stickers. As in, maybe he isn't travelling as kindly as he would like.
He's beat.
You see again, he's chased him away from the fence again. Arm
He's
off the
going to be
rein.
pulled up.
Yeah, that don't look good. He's gone right out now, Barry, hasn't he?
He's out to 15 now.
He's
G-Rod spotted it.
There you
G-Rod now, going to be pulled up. Look at this, G-Rod now.
It's why he's number one.
Q-Rod.
Yeah.
I talk about egg on face horses. Your nap of the festival, which never turned up, is in this last year, wasn't it, Barry? Sporting John.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I had him down as a stayers hurdle horse at one stage, but obviously he's had his problems. He's been quite disappointing since. But
He was the original put
just-
another zero on horse. Do you remember at Sandown when he
he
won
was
that
there
time?
in Sandown that day when he won his Grade 1 over fences. Yeah,
Trademark for a few things and put another one to a zero on, so that's some royalties you own.
he is finally pulling up Shamblou now.
Yeah.
I think, is he?
Yeah, Zanza's struggling as
Zanza's
well out
not
the back.
going.
He's a spit the dummy out horse. He just turns up at Newbury and wins. Kalashnikov's going
Into
well.
overdrive's your favourite now at 3.2.
Interesting tactics on intro overdrive, because if you remember against Long Press, he looked like he paid for going with him. He was really keen. He settled better than he did in the rehearsal chase as well into overdrive, but he was coming back at the finish, and they're not going to let him get caught out in this stronger race. I know Long Press was in that, but I think we have to say handicap-wise, this is a deeper handicap. Posty, what's catching your eye on the far side?
I mean, again, like you say, into overdrive, got into a very good rhythm. I think Chantry House has jumped well early. Robbie Dunn taking the horse notably wide, making sure that he has every opportunity to go and jump well, which he doesn't always.
Come on, Sounds Russian. This is cruising.
Kalashnikov just being sort of chased
Topville
along,
Ben
chivvied away.
going okay,
Topville
Charlie.
Ben. Yeah, he is. He's travelling really strong there.
Eye right on
Three
the
off the
inside, another one's favourite there. He's just about to lead, I think, coming up there. Well, we're 5 out, guys, here, are we?
Getting
Made a
into it.
mistake there.
Is that 5 out of 6? That is a really difficult camera angle here. Chantry House outside, loving this, and you're right, Robbie Dunn. Absolutely, all those staying chases that he won for Venetia a couple of years ago.
the
This is
last fence
5
down
out.
the back, yeah.
This is the final one on the far side. And Chantry House a little bit
Messy
benchy there. Fanny and Destraval starting to do it. Sporting John not picking up for the back. Kalashnikov keeps going forward.
Come on, Sounds Russian.
Topville Ben, as Barry said, catching the eye. Sounds Russia's there. Chantry House goes back onto the bridle. You just don't know with him, do you? He's going wide all the way. This is obviously a ploy that they've talked about.
He's beat, Dave. He is.
The ground, what, Chantry House?
Yeah, he's beat.
You madman. Sounds Russian looks beat to me now all
They
of a
could
sudden.
just be
Sounds
getting
Russian
at
really
it.
at the one, yeah.
They could be getting at it early enough here.
They are, I think.
Right,
I think
into
they are.
overdrive,
I mean,
you know.
all of a sudden, this is Long Press form. This is the King George favourites form is being advertised handsomely
6 to
as
4
they
on
turn
one
on.
in front.
4 fences still to
overdrive.
jump. And if there is a danger, it's got to be us, Posty, isn't it?
I think
No.
not.
What, you think not?
No.
Come on, Chantry, listen. Come on, surely this has gone too soon, hasn't it? Into overdrive then.
Come on,
Five's
Sounds
on.
Russian. Get
Wow,
up there.
5's on with 3 fences still to jump. Eye right's coming back in, but
Sounds
that's a
Russian.
mad price.
Go on, Sounds Russian. Get going.
Chantry
Leave
House
it
is
out,
gone.
G-Rod,
Go on.
will you?
He's
Go on,
gone,
Sounds
yeah.
Russian.
What's this finishing? Oh, yeah, this is what he did.
Come on,
He's
Sounds
absolutely
Russian.
tanking. Unfortunately, it looks like the bird has
Get
flown
up
in
there.
Sounds Russian.
Go on, my son.
This is an absolute walk.
Go on, Sounds Russian.
This is coming. This
Get
is
up there.
All of a sudden, into
Go on, my son.
explaining. Is he riding?
Go on, fly it.
Out. He's upside
Go.
down at last. This
Go
is
on, my
coming to
son.
his mates. Come on,
Go
G-Rod,
on.
get him up on the line.
Go on, get up.
I think he's going to do it, guys.
Come
This
on.
overdrive is hanging on. He's
No.
coming on. Oh, what a race. He's going to
Word.
be beaten just over half a length in the end. He made it interesting. 4's on he went with 3 fences to jump. You people that took that, you can now come up from behind the sofa, Barry Orr.
Oh my word! Sounds Russian traded at a low of 1.20, 5 to 1 on for 337 quid. Can you believe that? Into overdrive. Obviously, it looked all over. 4 out. He was 4s on. Then he was 6s on, 8s on all the way. My computer's just frozen there, but obviously, yeah. Hard luck to you, Rod, and me. I was on that as well. Yeah, I don't know. Is he passing tired horses there, or does he need to be ridden with a little bit more vigour and more positively? Because he seemed to drop himself out, turned into the straight, and then he's ran on again at the finish. But yeah, into overdrive. Betfair SP 5.30.
And once again, he just looked like it's exactly what he did at Aintree, but better horses had got away from him that day, and it is a long way home after the last at Wetherby. You thought you had it because you're so used to the closers getting up, aren't you?
They often do, don't they? I mean, I personally thought Jamie Hamilton had pressed the button too soon on into overdrive. I thought they got racing a long way out, but fair play. He had enough up his sleeve.
And the long press form is advertised. He went up £4 for that. He was getting stones, wasn't
The
he, from long
ultimate
press?
for the winner.
Which
16 to 1.
What for the
The
Nash?
Ultima.
The Ultima.
The Ultima, 16 to 1. Introduced at 16 to 1 into overdrive. The Ultima.
I think it's a good form boost for Roy Senior as well.
What is?
In the King George.
What sounds
It
Russian?
sounds Russian, going so close under a big weight.
He's been the gambler of the race, Barry, hasn't he? Ahoy, Senor.
Yeah, he was. He was a 16 to 1 chance. He's into about 12 and 10 now. So, yeah, he's been well supported.
We're less than an hour away then from the Boxing Day showpieces. So you've all had a great Christmas out there, guys. Welcome along if you're just joining us here on Racing Post Live. Myself, Dave Orton, thrilled to be steering the ship with Charlie Post, Graeme Rodway, and the big hitter himself, Barry Orr. And we've got a bit more time now to talk before our next race, going back to Kempton. It's Constitution coming out, isn't it? There is, though, your Betfair SP, Chamblou. Whoa. He did have a bit of a hold-up, Chamblou, didn't he, at the start of the season?
Yeah, I mean, things obviously haven't been straightforward for him since he fell with the Charlie Hall at his mercy, has it? And I mean, fair play. G-Rod spotted it early, and like I say, no sooner had he said that, you could see the distress signal, Sean Quinlan wrapping him down the shoulder, trying to get him to travel, and hopefully he's okay, but I mean, that was a really lacklustre performance. I just said, it sounds Russian's going to be rated over 160 after that.
I was thinking about what race he could go for. I thought Keith Melrose might be getting a bit excited because you could potentially go for an eye, but he's a bit too high
Cotswold
for an eye.
Chase.
I think he's now borderline. He's that talented, isn't he?
Yeah,
Sounds Russian.
He's
Cotswold's an
top class
interesting
horse.
shout.
Very
you know.
soft. You often get soft ground there.
grueler.
Yeah, it can be real. I mean, obviously Chantry House slugged it
war.
out. A war of attrition.
Chantry, well, it was a weird race to watch, wasn't it? But he was disappointed there, didn't he?
Yeah.
He should have finished place for sure. If entering the home straight, he looked like he down tools. There should be IQ Rod after that call. Well spotted, says Devo, who loves you, of course.
Devo.
You had your Huntingdon toilet meeting, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I've not been back. I've not been back since, actually.
He was coming out of the toilet at Huntingdon.
Tell you what.
I've not been to Huntingdon since.
Devo
actually,
came
but-
and introduced himself, didn't he?
Yeah, no, nice fella, Devo. Yeah, we had a good chat about
Yeah,
racing.
he's one of our
and
favourites.
that's what I love about racing. I love it. I love a chat about racing,
And
and
the
I love how
urinals.
many fans there are.
Yeah.
At the urinals.
That was a different story altogether. that was when I was supposed to have pictures taken, and Edward Whitaker, the photographer, said we should do it in front of the urinals.
Yeah, which was it was the greatest photographer, of course, and he put you in front. I mean, all the people he must have photographed over the years will go down to the last fence at Cheltenham and all that sort of thing. G-Rod, toilet at Huntingdon.
Well, I assumed he knew what he was doing.
That was your big day, of course. Devo, you're quite right. IQ Rod, I like that. Okay, so the next race coming up, of course. Should we get the market up on the screen, guys? How low can you go, I suppose? And while we're just expecting him to go and do the business, he's unbackable pretty much, isn't he, Barry? There are ways to play the Christmas hurdle. And what a treat that we see the Constitution coming over the hill. And we've frozen in Dublin. While Barry puts another coin in the meter, we will have him back. It will be a matter of time. I know how Barry's going to play this, by the way. He's got the 1-2, of course, from the fighting fifth Henderson, Epatont, who was beaten a distance, of course. So Royale, who makes the race interesting, although the ground you wouldn't think is good for him. I'm looking forward to seeing what Metier can do, guys, because he's just an interesting horse to me. And thankfully, Highway 102 is in the race, because and that could be interesting. Barry's back. Okay, let's go back to Dublin then. I was saying, Barry, we know he's probably just going to pop out and win the race. He's unbackable, but there is a way to play, right?
Well, there's several ways to play it. If you fancy something outside of the favourite, obviously you can bet in the without market, or you can bet place, you can bet A versus B, match bets, all of that's available on the exchange. He's 1.14, which is 7 to 1 on. Epatante, 14 to 1 chance, and it's 30 bar. But I'm going to play in this on the sports book in the lengthen your odds market. We've shown it the good effect before. 15 lengths or more is 6 to 4. We're going to have 50 quid on 15 lengths or more. I was in Newcastle when this horse won the fighting fifth, and I swear to God, when he pushed a button, he just took off. And it was almost effortless as well, which was so impressive. Now, they mightn't have to dip him for him to really kick on and win impressively today. I know for Epatante, this was her target all year. This is her champion hurl. But I just think this horse is an absolute monster. So I think it's well within his remit to effortlessly win this by 15 lengths or more.
He's got his old rival to beat. It's somewhat surprising straight after the race that Hendo nominated this. I mean, I say somewhat surprising. I thought this would be Epatant's, and I guess it's where you go, isn't it?
But that's the problem. He's got nowhere to go, has he, if he doesn't go here?
It's Ireland, isn't it?
And he's not going to do that.
Why not?
He could go Betfair Hurl, no?
Which would be incredible, yeah.
Now. I've heard a little bit of rumoring on some of your pods, isn't there, about this, and absolutely, but he won't.
He won't. As in, he'll win, hopefully, this as he likes.
His owner might have a say in it. His owner's ego might, if you appeal to the ego of carrying a top weight in the Betfair Hurl, you win considerably more in terms of prize money than any of the trials that he would go for. It's still Great Britain's richest handicap hurl at over 120 grand.
Henderson will have something else for that.
Well, maybe. It's one of our favourite races anyway. Could you imagine if Constitution Hill...
Could you imagine Constitution Hill lining up there?
It'd be brilliant. Yeah, I mean, it's so much more exciting seeing these good horses carry big weights.
You just get out and ping out and make hold on him, don't you? In that.
Yes.
It's a race that often goes to front runners as well.
But the likelihood is he'll win this, hopefully, impressively, and we won't see him again till the Champion Hurdle.
You said hopefully there.
Pardon?
You said hopefully there.
Well, you're hoping nothing goes wrong.
Why not go to Ireland?
I completely agree with you, but it won't happen, will it?
Right. He's a horse that we're not sure how many times we'll be seeing him each season anyway, because, I mean, is this just his fifth race today, is it?
Probably once bitten, twice shy there as well with Henderson, because, of course, last year he did get embroiled in a big battle before the Cheltenham Festival with Energumen coming over and racing against Shishkin, and of course then Shishkin completely threw the towel in next time out.
It was a CNA Maltior affair,
it was
wasn't
almost
it,
as though that race has taken a mark on Shishkin and has not put a mark on Energumen.
Yes, interesting to see where he turns up next. Of course, it looks like it's going to be 2 mile 4-ish, doesn't it? Anyway, but look, back to Constitution Hill, lengthening the odds, guys. That's what the big hitter is doing. 15 or more. We had a distance pot, didn't we? Me, you, Batch and Horowski, who was deputising. We was a really popular show that, and we went for 8, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were thinking turning in, well, we got it about right, and then the turbo that we'd never seen before just kicked in. And funnily enough, it looked turning in as if Newcastle might not have been his track necessarily, because they closed on him a little bit, and then he just went again. It's funny to say that a horse doesn't like certain tracks when this is potentially, Pegasus, but it's just fascinating to see him coming to Kempton. It's a specific skill set you need. Epatant got beaten at 6s on in the race, which you called, I remember, a couple of years ago when we were doing this show, when Silver Street won. How do you play the race, Q-Rod?
I just think that you've probably got to look for the horse that might chase Constitution Hill home, haven't you? So Constitution Hill is going to win. Fresh Air is going to finish second. I've got So Royal at number 10 in my power rankings, and I've got Epatant at number 13, and the rest of them don't even qualify. The problem, of course, is So Royal is thought to be a good ground horse, and it looked like it was very tested there, and I think that's why he's out to 34 on the exchange. But there's this big debate, isn't there, about horses who are the most underrated horse in training.
Right.
This is the most underrated horse in training.
Who?
So Royal.
Why?
Do you think he is underrated?
Yeah, I think he's massively underrated. I mean, he's a horse who wins time and time again. He's as good over hurdles as he is over fences. You can run him in all the top races. He always turns up, always runs his race. I mean, I've got him. He's probably about the third or fourth best hurdler in Britain, is he not?
So Royal?
Yeah.
Again, well...
Who's a better horse, Sharjah or So Royal?
Sharjah,
yeah.
Why?
He's multiple Grade 1 winning hurdler, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, they set that Grade 1 up for him every year, didn't they?
I love So Royal.
I don't think he's underappreciated, though. I think people...
Not underappreciated, underrated.
You don't think that So Royal would have won those Grade 1s that Sharjah's won over in Ireland, those rubbish ones at Christmas that he wins every year?
You would have had a good study up of the ratings, so I'm not going to play my hand.
So Royal would have kicked that lot out the way. I mean, you watch State Man kick Sharjah out the way?
I thought when he came back
Wednesday or Thursday, whenever it is,
at Wincanton, put him up there. I think Nappers Hill. He was given a. I don't think he was.
He's the most overrated horse in training.
You think Nappers Hill is?
No, Sharjah.
Sharjah, who we're going to see, of course, coming back up in the Masterson, aren't we?
Yeah.
When he's, of course, State Man comes back.
Nappers Hill's a better horse than him.
What? Who?
Sharjah.
Okay, all right.
You've got it in for Sharjah.
I just don't think he's any good.
I really like Sharjah. I
Why?
really like him. What do you mean, why?
He's like one of those horses who
winning
always
machines
comes up
finished
short.
second in Champion Hurdle. What you on about?
Always
He's a very
comes
good
up
horse.
short.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think
No,
there'll be
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
about
people
that either.
arguing with that one.
not
But so right at Wincanton, I thought he ran his race. I feel for him a bit because he's obviously a course and distance winner. He's run twice at this meeting over fence. He's been beaten in both of them. He's never run in this race, which I thought was quite a surprise. It's the sort of race you might think would suit him. The course and distance win is when they have that quick ground in October, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think with the ground as it is, you have to think the
Constitution Hill will lap Metier, won't he?
I've backed Metier in the without.
Have you?
Yeah.
Interesting. He'll like the ground.
Yeah, that's right.
I think he's a very good horse. They could have gone back to Lingfield with him, couldn't they? And
I think they are going back to Lingfield.
the Lingfield Million,
The
of course.
quote on the RP website is, "I want to get him out before we go back for the Winter Millions at Lingfield
And
He's
give him
well in
another run.
himself."
And here they are, picking up some prize money, of course. Well, look, thank goodness he runs here. And look, I'm sure loads of you, Matty Batch, of course, when we had the Fighting Fifth show, said this is the most certain forecast of all time, didn't he? He got it right, of course. With Epatante coming back. Who's following in this? That's the question. 7's on then around about and unbackable stuff. But let's just sit back and marvel.
Oh, yeah.
What price is he currently, dare I ask, on the Sportsbook, Barry, for the Champion Hurdle?
Oh, God.
Oh, he was 3s on last time I looked, Dave.
That's bigger than
3's
some.
on.
That is bigger than some. There are some books that we've been speaking to that are predicting he might go for 8's on in the race.
In the Champion Hurdle.
Yeah.
How will you stop?
Please.
Have a think about it.
Who are you speaking to that say that? He's 11-4 on at the moment. I think the shortest price a favourite ever went off in the Champion Hurdle in the history of the race is 3s on.
Yeah, but this is the best hurdle we've ever seen.
Well,
isn't
imagine
it?
if Honeysuckle doesn't turn up and you've got Stateman in the race. Stateman's got to come through the rest of his races. He's not yet proven. I mean, county hurdle winner we're talking about here. Yes, he might be the best 2
I suppose with the dilution of the Cheltenham card, you know, the way horses can go other places
That's
now,
it.
and you know, especially with the mares and that. Yeah, he could go off short, but there's no way he's going to be an 8's on champ. That's
I
crazy.
did
this
exactly
back.
what
Play
you
this
did,
back.
Barry, when I first heard that claim, and I went, you're mad. And then I started to think about it a little bit more. And, while that might be going very, very extreme, how low can we go?
I think you're
All right, anyway,
you're
we're
being a
about
bit
to
of a
find out.
sensationalist there.
Well, I'm not meaning to be. That's
Yeah,
it's
plenty.
it's a theory.
I can't
All right,
wait to
okay.
see this. Can you? This
We
is
are
going
off
to be
and going.
great.
This is an absolute treat because any time he comes and struts his stuff, we should just enjoy it. Let's hope for a clear round from them all, and this is great. And we could talk about all the superlatives here at the Racing Post. The keyboards have been trying to make up superlatives basically because we don't know where we're going with it. But Metier's just about going to lead. Highway 102, of course, who won that Ascot handicap. He is doing what he likes to do best and gets on with it. He loves the track here as well. He's a Dovecote winner, I think, isn't he? Back in the day, and so Royale on the inside, just a little bit fresh. Epatante looking on from rear. Of course, the winner of this race has been turned over in it as well. And off goes Constitution Hill. You did a little foie there.
Yeah, it's a really good.
This is easy on the eye, Posty, isn't it?
Great,
Yeah,
isn't it?
very much so.
I love watching him jump, don't you? Oh, it's amazing.
This is one that you've
Like a
got
little
absolutely
aeroplane.
right, by the way, isn't it, this horse? When he won his maiden hurdle on that Fighting Fifth at the Tingle Creek card, when you were there, you said that probably wins the Supreme.
I did, yeah, and everyone said, "Oh, well, yeah, Tolworth hurdle. That's not any good, is it? You know, no Tolworth hurdle will ever win this." All the Irish were going, "Oh, well, yeah, you know, send your Tolworth hurdle here and we'll beat him up." Well,
It was because it was Dysart Dynamo that was thought it might be the one that
Dysart
put him
Dynamo.
up to him, of course. All right, here we are then.
there's
on
not
the
a
far
horse
side.
that can put it up to him, Dave.
he's
There's
ju-
no horse around that can put him up to
He's
this.
just trying to hold on to him, Posty, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, he's just keeping things simple, isn't he? He's getting a good view of his hurdles. He's middle outer, and like I say, he's just trying to minimise the risk for something else getting in his way.
Can you
Aidan
imagine
Coleman.
what it must be like to ride Constitution Hill Post?
Oh, that was a good jump. That was a hell
I
of a
wouldn't
jump.
mind a go, I must admit.
That was a hell of a jump. Okay, more chance of you winning the Welsh National again, I think, than having a ride on Constitution Hill. Highway 102 then, just continue. I mean, it must be some thrill, wasn't it, for Jamie Moore? All right, okay, I'm up.
I did ride the dam once,
What?
Constitution Hill.
Did you now?
Yeah.
Did you?
Did you now? Where was that, round Toaster, something like
I
that?
think it was something like
Yeah,
that.
wow, amazing, isn't it, how that works out? Aidan Coleman doing what he did on Paisley Park, just observing from rear at the moment. Metier out on the outside as well, and Sorrel, the lovable Sorrel, on the inside as well. Barry, I'm assuming no ripples whatsoever, but we need the length and the odds, man.
Yeah, we'll see. He's trading at 1.13 now. Getting a little close there. It's 12 Epatante. The Betfair SP at 2 to 13, 1.15.
We're sort of ruminating here in the studio because So Royale seemed to get put off, I think, by Metier going back, or he got a knock. I'm not sure, Posty. But when does he let him go?
Not yet. I mean, he'll get
Not unless swing in.
Yeah, exactly. He'll just let him travel around the turn.
I don't know. He's letting him in.
He's doing a half speed, and they can't even keep up with him. It's just it's so impressive. He's absolutely flown.
See the way he pricked his ears there, locked onto the hurdle, saw the shot. It was really,
I think
really
Metier
good to
might
watch.
have a P next to his name after this post. They'll be desperate for him to finish, of course, with a return to Lingfield in mind. But
Chris Gordon might be able to pick up some good placement.
Where's
here.
So
Definitely.
Royal?
So Royal's gone.
He made a bad
he's out the
mistake,
back. I mean, Sharjah would be second at the moment, Barry. So I think we put that one to bed.
Put that one to bed.
We put that one to bed quite quickly. Come on in, Michael Buckley, if you're watching. Can we see him in the
There we go.
Betfair
Let's
hurdle?
see
That's
what
what
he's
we all
got
want. Epatante then on the outside. She's got about 2 lengths of fine. So it's a carbon copy at the moment of Newcastle. This is when the turbo
take
went
off.
into absolute. I mean,
Here we
Epatante
go.
at the moment
He's
still.
gone wide.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Oh,
Yeah.
this is an
Going
interesting
wide.
ploy, isn't it? So he's coming widest of all, Nico de
It's all
Boinville.
over.
Epatante looks like he's going to be the. This buying money, this
All
forecast every
over.
time they run, isn't it?
All
Okay.
over, but is it all over by 15 lengths or
Come
more?
on, that's what we want. I'll tell you what, that's probably the worst jump I've ever seen him make as well, 2 out. Now he goes away. Come on,
there
Nico,
you go.
we got the distances here. She's absolutely walking Epatante. I mean, this is a
all
champion
over.
hurdle winner, training in the weight. Giro, what are we making of this? Come on.
Yeah.
He's a superstar.
Oh, this is a beautiful jump as well. Look at
absolutely
this. Come on, off we
it's
go.
fine.
Barry,
How
you're
far
late
you
tickets,
like?
right.
Push in.
Come on, keep pushing him for
Yes,
goodness
please.
sake. Come on, off you go. Off you go, Nico. Let him out a little bit. That's what we want to see.
1,
Brilliant
2,
to see.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 20 odd lengths, was it?
Happy
14 and a
days.
half by my reckon in that.
So listen, if you wanted to know how to play the race, this is why you tune in to Racing Post Live. This is why we love Barry. The big hitter from Betfair, he told you to lengthen the odds. He went as big as it was. And what price was it, Barry?
He went off a Betfair SP of 1.15 there, the winner, which is 2 to 13. Sorry, you're asking me what price we backed over 8.5 lengths or over 15 lengths at, was it?
Yeah.
What price was it, G-Rob?
It was 6 to 4.
6 to
Yeah,
4.
with 75
I mean,
6 to 4.
Yeah.
he actually only beat Epatante by 12 lengths last time. I was looking back. This is just.
Yeah,
the-
he's given her £7 as well. Don't forget.
This is as good as it gets. Isn't it?
This is the best hurdler we've seen, possibly of all time.
What do we do with marks and things like that? But I just love that 6 to 4 out there. I hope many of you took it. Let's see if you did. Get involved. Let us know. We are now T-minus 35 minutes away from the King George, but we will concentrate on this a little bit. I dare say he'll be trimmed in again. That 8 to 1.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
That
Yeah.
8 to 1 on is a thing.
Unchanged at 4 to 11.
Okay, all right, okay, and we're keeping a lid on it now, of course. I can see Sam Caney out there in the chat. Merry Christmas to you, Sam. I saw that earlier. I might be mad, says Sam, but I think that's the best hurdler ever. Well, that's what Q-Rod's been saying all season, basically. When does he threaten the magic? Was it 181?
181 is Istabrack, isn't it? So he's already at 176, isn't he? And you said that you beat Epatante by 12 lengths last time out.
Yeah.
So if he's beaten her by more than 12, then you're looking at, it's got to be close to 180, hasn't it?
Got to be, but
Got to be close to 180. I reckon Magic Mason, our handicapper, won't want to go there
won't.
just yet.
I agree.
He won't want to get. He'll probably go 180, 180, just below, just to give him that chance when he goes to the Champion Hurdle, which will probably be next. 186.
Yeah, all right. So we'll see what Nicky says then about that.
Betfair
And,
hurdle. He has to go to the Betfair
Forget
hurdle after that.
the Betfair. You're going to run
Come
me.
on, he has to
we
go
want
to
to
the
see.
Betfair
We
hurdle
want to
after
see it.
that.
Listen, Long Press goes
If
to
he
a
wants to be
handicap.
considered a true champion, he has to go to a Betfair hurdle and win that.
And listen, he's already won your
he'll
fight
never
in fifth.
he'll never be up to the likes of Istabrack until he goes and wins a Betfair.
Oh, hold on a
It'd be brilliant
second.
if he ran the Betfair off 180, wouldn't it? And Epatante would be in there off 10 stone.
How many Betfair hurdles did Istabrack win?
Are you suggesting that?
No, to be considered one of the greats, you got to lump it around the weight around.
Istabrack never carried any
He
weight.
could run
Come
Constitution
on.
Hill to
Come
keep
on.
the
He
weights
wants-
down.
He needs to be considered a great. He's got to do it in the hand.
What a load of rubbish.
You can tell it's Christmas, and you can tell we've had too many sherries because not only are you thinking that Nicky's now going to run him off 173, but you're also thinking that Nicky's going to put Epatante.
No, but I'm saying if they put him up to 180, Epatante's off 154, she goes off in the Betfair hurdle off 10 stone.
And he still beat her 20 lengths.
Wow, barely out of third gear, says our social supremo out there, John Bon Philby today. Absolutely. Have we seen fourth gear yet from this chap?
I don't think we have.
Are we
I
going to
don't think
ever
we
see
have.
it?
No, nothing can live with him, can they? No. Nothing can live with him.
It's incredible horse. I mean, yeah, I don't remember seeing such an exciting horse in my life.
it's the merit of the form behind him that's backing all this up, isn't it? Because, of course, there was a time when Forheim was looking very, very, very demolitions. But 17 lengths, it's official. If you took the 64,
Fail races,
Absolutely. Absolutely lovely. So, all right, it's King George Yex, but we've just seen the champion hurdler, guys, and we all being well. So that was marvellous and a real treat for you.
Let's just hope he gets there on the day. Yeah. And what an exciting day that Tuesday is then going to be. Just to go and see Constitution Hill in the champion hurdle.
This horse, let's just be a little bit serious about this for a minute. This horse could be, what Desi did for the sport, what Arkle, these great Isterbrack, of course. We need the crossover here, don't we? This is a guy that the people that, Ed Chamberlain, I'm sure, will be thinking about how to do it on ITV at the moment. Well, this is one that we need the greater public to know about, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, he can take racing to the back page, can't he? He's that good. At Cheltenham, he should be lead on
front
the back
page stuff. This is, isn't it? I mean, this is.
Does racing ever get on the front page?
Well, the National might.
In the Racing Post, it does.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So let us know where you're watching, guys and girls. What did you make of that then? We've got the King George coming up, going to Poste. There you can see your Betfair SB. It looks a little bit miserly on the screen, but hopefully you were with us and you were told about the lengths. I'm sure that the forecast was out there as well for many of you as well.
Fair play, Chris Gordon picked up nearly 14 grand there.
Job done.
Yeah, well.
I think he finished third in the end, didn't he? But, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And probably, the meritorious third, of course, would have been Sharjah. And some breaking news as well from Huntingdon coming on that Harry Derham's trained his first winner today.
Has he?
That's good news, isn't
Very good, yeah. First runner.
Was it the first runner? No. Was it it was 11 to 1. That's not his first runner, is it?
Who trained it before?
Third runner, wasn't it? Who trained it before?
His old boss.
And who broke it in? I thought that's where you were about to go. No, didn't go there.
But yeah, he hadn't run for 400 and something days.
This is catching me on the hop here. So what was the name of the horse? Oh yeah, okay. See a lot more business.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'd say Paul will like that, won't he?
Wow. Well, congratulations, Harry, out there. It's absolutely fantastic. First runner as well. I'll tell you what, you think about these things and you think, a couple of months ago I thought, well, Harry's going to get the first one proper revved up. 11 to 1. Beat the favourite as well by 12 lengths.
And you missed it.
And I missed it. I missed it. Blooming Durham. All right, well, that's good to see, isn't it? All right, 20 to 1 in the week, I'm hearing as well. Loads of people out there loving the fact that Constitution's gone and done the business, but also that Barry suggested to go over 15 lengths as well. One more to come then. Shall we get the market up for the festive showpiece? Domestically, anyway, that's for sure. It is the King George, or the greats have won it, of course, over the years. Memories of Corto Star and the likes recently for you as well. We've seen some unbelievable finish. Sad news about Q Carr, wasn't it?
Yes.
Not had a chance to really have our say about that. That was one of the best finishes you'll ever see anywhere. When it looked like...
At all.
Look, how did he lose that race?
Yeah, I don't know.
That was just Kempton memories then. King George memories. We've got half an hour. Let's hear from him. But let's hear from the man who's in red-hot form, unsurprisingly, once again, and where he is playing Barry Orr for charity in the King George.
Yeah, L'Impresse is your favourite now, Dave. 3.45. So he's a 5-2 favourite. Obviously into overdrive as just Frank's that form of his win in the Betfair Exchange rehearsal chase up in Newcastle the same day that Constitution Hill won the Betfair Fighting Fifth. Brave Man's Game is 4.0. He's 3-1. He's relatively weak in the market considering he was 7-4 favourite for so long in this race. And Voyal Land 5.9, 13.5 Hitman, same price of Hoist Senior, Rod Guy 18.5. It's 23 bar, 24 Frode and a previous winner of the race. I really like Brave Man's Game in it. We know he's been trained specifically for this race. They did his breeding after he disappointed behind a Hoist Senior in the Mildmay and Aintree. He's been flawless prior to that, especially, when on this card last year when winning the Corto Star, when he had a Hoist Senior second. He beat him over 7 lengths that day as well. Yeah, there's a lot to like about him. I like the price now. I wouldn't let it put me off adrift here. Like that doesn't really count for much in my book, in that Paul Nicholls says the horse is fitting well. That's good enough for me. So we're going to have a 25 quid win Brave Man's Game, please, G-Rod. And again, happy to be a price taker at 4.0, which is 3-1. I think you can pick holes in L'Impresse. I think you can pick holes in Voyal. And Hitman's a very interesting one, and that's a horse that Paul Nicholls has always regarded really, really highly. But obviously he's to go and win at the trip first. But yeah, for me, Brave Man's Game 4.0. That's the bet.
I'm glad to hear that, Barry, because I'm with you as well. I've been umming and ahhing about this. This would have been a confident pick for me had Lon Presse not turned up here. That's the right curveball, that, isn't it? And fantastic that Venetia's aiming to at the race, of course, with the other one in there as well. I'm just looking at the Royal guy, of course. Will comes back on. Will, good to see you. Brave Man's Game. It's been his race since this time last year. That's it, Will, isn't it? The Corto Star, 12 months ago, we all thought, this is it. Whether he's a spring horse or not, we're not 100% sure. This is his time. If it was just slightly better ground, which it often can be. But I'm not undeterred by what I saw in the Time Hill race on the chase course, are you?
I don't.
He should be fine on it, shouldn't
I
he?
don't think it's going to be a problem for Brave Man's Game, no, not at all.
All right, well, we shall continue going down the list as well. Popular horse out there, Brave Man's Game, I can say.
His problem is that he's trained by the master, isn't he? Who obviously has won this race umpteen times.
You must be tipping this, because this was the horse that got you into a lot of spats last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, the problem is he's just not good enough to win this race, is he?
Brave Man's Game?
No. His form falls way short of what's needed, I think, personally. I think Lon Presse is by far the best horse in the race. By far the best novice in the race, sorry. By far the best second season chaser in the race. Sorry, I'm getting confused here. Second season chaser in the race, right? Look at what Lon Presse did last year compared to what Brave Man's Game did. It doesn't even compare, does it?
Can we all agree, though, that the Brave Man's Game is the best jumper in the race?
Oh, yeah, he jumps beautifully, doesn't he? But he comes up short, doesn't he? He's like McFabulous earlier. When he reaches... when he gets to grade 1, he comes up short. Every time.
Well, he has done thus far.
And he will do again.
There are excuses, aren't
Will he
there?
not?
I think if he's going to win a Grade 1, this is it, isn't it?
No, I don't
This
think
is it. I think it is. I really think
I
it is.
don't think he can win.
We've got some Irish interest, thankfully, because of Mboy LN. How many of you are, thinking that the Messiah might be on his way back after the Down Royal run? Hitman is in there. We'll go down them all, but let's get the tips. So you are Lon Presse, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, I can see it. I have to say I can see it. I just think I'm totally with Barry on all of this. The fact that Brave Man's Game is 3-1, it just swings it. I think on their day there's probably not a great deal between them. You obviously are quite confident about this, Charlie Deutsch.
Yeah.
Is it right to think that he might be better going left-handed?
Potentially, but he has won right-handed, so I don't see it as a major issue. I think he's tactically versatile. I would imagine we're going to see a really strong gallop in this. So
well, that's something we'll talk about.
I feel that he'll probably be following rather than pressing the pace.
I like what he did there. Lon pressing. Very, very good. That's a new coin of phrase. Let's get another social up. Charlie's tip there then. In the silks of Lon Presse. Flef Kiev comes back on. Lovely. And says, Royal Pagaille each way. Course and distance winner will love the ground. Hasn't quite had the chance to show his best yet. He used a couple of years ago, wasn't it? On the 27th when he beat Christian Williams' horse, Captain Orr.
Yeah,
as he liked. And then everyone thought, hang on a minute, we've got a right old horse here. And he ran in the Gold Cup as a novice, of course.
Yeah, got a very good chance, hasn't he? Royal
You
Pagaille?
like him?
He's got a very good chance.
Are you tipping him?
He was 5th in the Gold Cup, and he's fallen from Haydocks off ground. We'll give him every chance.
Well, it's absolutely hard for him.
The stronger the gallop, the better for him, isn't it?
Yeah, and he'll
And
be
you
off the
wouldn't
pace.
necessarily
won't
have him down as a Kempton horse, but he has won over courses. That was, of course, a handicap.
He's not my tip. No, I mean,
What are you tipping? Come on, then.
I think that Ahoy Senor will win.
I mean, I've no idea how you've got to that tip after what you said. And when you were talking about Lon Presse, you said he's the best novice, second season novice in it. Well, what you've tipped, you're not tipping the best second season novice then?
You've got to look at the race, haven't you? The race is at Kempton. And I think that Lon Presse is better going left-handed. And I think that Ahoy Senor, although all his best form is left-handed,
Right.
I think he will improve for going right-handed because he jumps right, doesn't he? They'll put the cheek pieces on here. The ground will really suit him. It'll be a stiff test of stamina. I think as long as he puts in a clean round and he gets over those first 5 or 6 and he's right there, I think he's got too much class on him. Let's not forget that Ahoy Senor has beaten Lon Presse
Yes.
at Aintree last season.
He was a silly price, I think, around about 25, so I agree with that.
And Ahoy
Not now,
Senor,
I think he's about the right price now.
was close to him in Cheltenham. He made a bad mistake at the 4th or 3rd last and did remarkably well to come back and chase Lon Presse home. This is always with endless amount of ability, Ahoy Senor, and he's just the wrong price, isn't he? He's double figure odds.
He got thrashed in the Corto Star. I mean, Brave Man's Game went past him like he'd and a race.
Yeah, but Derek Fox didn't go hard enough that day.
He needs a more aggressive
He
ride.
needs a more aggressive ride, yeah.
But the only thing I would say about the right-handed thing, yes, he does jump right, but I just wonder, because he's not a great jumper, that he actually likes having the freedom to move left, if that makes sense, to move right with his jumping. And if he ends up down the inner and he's not got the space to do that, I just don't know whether that's a positive, and the horse might not like it because he's not very confident jumper, and I think he likes to be able to shift himself over to give himself room at times.
We need to go on Q-Rod Cam during this race because Q-Rod will probably be thinking to himself, what am I doing on the inside? I think Postie's absolutely right. OK, we've heard from us. That's what it is. The tips are out there. Myself and Barry for a brave man's game. It's such a race, this, isn't it? Long press it is for Charlie Poste, and it is ahoy, senor, for Graeme Rodway out there. Right, well, let's hear from you out there. Where are you all watching? I know I can tell you what, my family are watching this at the moment. Just had a message come in. They're in Prestwood in Buckinghamshire at the moment. They're all gathered around having a nice Boxing Day. And they're all watching it. And you owe my son a beer, don't you? Because you're actually using his iPad at the moment. Because Posty had one too many ports last night and forgot his iPad. And
it happens to the best of us.
I had to jump in the car with that. So that's why you're probably on such good form today. So thanks, Sebastian, for that.
Yeah.
Let's go to Devo, who comes back on and says, I think IQ Rod needs his head checked here. This is your biggest fan who's now turning against you.
Well, it's happened before, and usually when people say that, I usually end up being right, don't I, Dave?
Oh, I don't know about that, Devo. What do you reckon?
Number one.
All right. What about Boy LM, Barry? Come on. I mean, this... Could he... I don't know. This was, of course, a couple of years ago, after he won the Ballymore, you couldn't knock this horse. If you did, which some of us did at the Post, racing Twitter would go absolutely mad. He then fell, of course, in the Turners, one of the biggest oohs and ahs we've ever had in this studio. And Henry de Bromhead, of course, who has inherited this horse for that race, he's only run once and finished over 3 miles, hasn't he? Can we see this? We seem
I thought
to.
the racing
there you are.
I thought the racing down Royal fell apart. Obviously, Galvin didn't run his race that day. He ended up beating Kemboy. I think a really strongly run 3 mile is going to be beyond him. When you look back last year, he's racing against Energamine. He took him on in Cheltenham. That was his run after his wind surgery. He took him on in Cheltenham, and then he took him on again in Aintree or in Punchestown, and he ran away from him on both occasions. They stepped him up to the 3 mile, like you say, in Down Royal. But I thought that race fell apart, to be perfectly honest. And I'd rather be a layer than the backer.
Okay, all right. So you got the word there on the Sheafley Park course because we thought Allaho might be turning up. Of course, let's hope we do see Allaho back at Cheltenham.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with Barry. It's very rare that happens where Barry and I are absolutely spot on. But I thought that was one of the weakest races I've seen all season. The one that Envoy Len won at Down Royal. I mean, Kemboy was second, and I can't have Envoy Len. I cannot have Hitman.
Thank goodness we've got an Irish representative, of course, and thank God that Henry de Bromhead has come back here, despite what happened to Manella Indo in the race. And of course, he's compared them. He says he's got a frightening sort of cruising speed, MBLM, which I think is about right. I think at one point he'll look dangerous in this race, and if I was doing a top 3, he'd be in it. Tumbleweeds have just gone through the. I mean, he's 9-2, isn't he? What about Hitman then? Paul Keeley and Robbie Wilders and loads of judges have been suggesting this before. He was around about 25 at the start of the season, the big jump off.
Needs them all to fall. He just cannot win. He's not good enough. For a start, he's not good enough.
You don't think he'll be
not
firing
good enough.
blanks?
He's not tough enough.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll still be travelling, turning in?
He might be.
I don't, and this is my theory on it. I'm going to barge in with my theory. I think what we saw at Haydock was exactly why we saw him looking and what people thought we've been waiting for, because he led. And I don't think he had a chance to really... There was no one putting it up to him. And I don't think he likes it up him, does the Hitman. I think he's happy to sit in the bushes and snipe. I don't think when it comes to actual fist fighting,
I think you're spot on.
Got.
You're absolutely spot on, Dave.
It happens every now and then.
Yeah.
So I'm knocking him off, Hitman.
Yeah.
All right. Royal Pagaille, I think he'll be found wanting. Tom Siegel doesn't. Price-wise, Suprema. Eldorado Allen has got a big one in him this season. Don't think it'll be him. Frodon, do we think the previous winner has to lead as well?
Yeah, I think he'll go off in front, won't he? And Bryony and yeah, I mean,
will he though?
Bruce fancies Frodon. Bruce Millington.
Does he?
He said he's seen this movie before, and Bryony jumps off in front, and she just keeps going in front. But
is that what he said? Was that his line? I've seen this movie before.
Seen the movie before. That's what he said. G-Rod.
That's why we love Bruce.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
There's no way they're going to let him have an easy lead.
You wouldn't have thought so. Not in the King George like this.
Can he even get the lead?
But that's the question.
If you're a Frodon fan, and he will have backers because he's won the race before, and everyone loves Bryony and Frodon when they team up, of course.
Unbelievable.
But there are 3 potential pace angles here, aren't there? You've basically got Frodon, You've got, I mean, Miller's Bank can even have a go as well.
Ahoy, Signor.
Ahoy, Signor. Now, Lucinda said he resented being taken on in the Charlie Hall when she called him an idiot to us in the studio. And then, of course, they then went out and got the lead at Aintree. But when he was pressed again, he looked like he sulked a little bit. It was testament to the horse's ability that he kept in the race there. 100%. I thought he was sure 3 out to sort of pay for those early exertions. He's got right old engine on him, but he loves Aintree, doesn't he? I'm not totally sure he's going to love Kempton here.
Neither
Well,
am I.
yeah, he loves Aintree, but we don't know he doesn't love
Could
Kempton.
3 duel up front is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly that.
Well, that's what we need, though. And we need a proper, good, strong pace. You know, we don't
yeah, one
want
of your tips is going to be one of them, man.
That's fine, because I think he'll outstay him if he goes hard. I've got absolutely no doubt about hoisting your staying. My concern is actually if Bryony does go off and fiddle around going slow in front, doing all that old, and then it turns into a sprint up the straight, and your brave man's game comes from out the big clouds on his bridle and goes and wins it in a test of speed.
Me and Barry are on this. We're going to ping our way around. When does he make his move, Barry? Coming to 3 out, just lets him ease in. It's going to be clockwork, right?
I hope so, Dave. I hope you're right. I don't share your in running vision just there, though. I'd say if there's no pace, I'm sure Harry will want to make it.
He can make it.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he could very easily go on and make it. I don't know. He'll want to be up with them, won't he? He won't want to spot them too much distance here. I think you'll just see him hunting them around, and hopefully as they swing into the straight, they'll begin to settle themselves out, and I could see him taking it up maybe with 2 to jump.
Emily Webber has napped Brave Man's Game in the spotlights.
Who?
Emily Webber. She's the sprint queen, actually, we call her at the Racing Post, because she's put up so many sprint winners, but she's napped Brave Man's Game. Emily.
Not for me.
Yeah, well, look, she's a great judge.
She's a great judge, but I don't agree with that.
Long press then, Barry. Sure to go off favourite, it looks like, doesn't it? And what do we think? I mean, I thought at one point the 2 to 1 might be under pressure after into overdrive. Not a bit of it, though.
No, he's 5 to 2, steady enough at the 5 to 2 mark. Yeah, I suppose he carried top weight in the Betfair rehearsal chase in Newcastle, and it was a decent performance. It was a great thing to see, actually. You know, these good horses carrying that weight in the handicaps, like we discussed earlier, when I somewhat miserably looking for Nicky Henderson to run Constitution Hill in the Betfair Hurl. It would be great to see, but we got to see it with Lampresse in Newcastle, and it was great to see. But I kind of feel that this is an afterthought. You know, there was no chat about this being a King George horse prior to that rehearsal chase.
Yeah.
And that kind of worries me a bit. It's not like with Brave Man's Game, who since this time last year, his route to the King George has been mapped out by Nichols.
It's all
he knew
about this, isn't it? Yeah.
It's all about this. Yeah, for me, Lampresse is just kind of, it just seemed like it was an afterthought.
Yeah.
It's an interesting point.
No, well, I think we were surprised he's running here.
Yeah.
You could take the flip view of that, of course, that he's so well that they're running. Nicola, good to see you. Cargill comes back on and says, Brave Man's Game, winner, chicken for Christmas dinner.
Who has chicken for Christmas dinner?
A lot of people don't like turkey, actually.
Really?
I met someone on Christmas Eve who said, I'm having a lovely roast chicken, I can't. Turkey too
The
dry,
in-laws,
too difficult
the
to
in-laws
cook.
had duck for dinner.
I've had duck before on
duck.
Christmas Day.
Yeah, that
I've had
doesn't
goose.
surprise me, actually. Yeah.
I've had goose. I
Not
don't
much
know why.
meat on a duck, though, is there?
Well, there was only 2 of them.
Right.
Don't know why I associate goose with you
But,
when I look at you. I'm not sure. I just did.
Your goose is cooked.
Yeah. It's been for years, Barry.
Eldorado,
He still manages to come back
Eldorado
on.
LN is no forlorn hope, is he?
No, he's in my top 3. Should we go top 3s?
Yeah, he's got a chance, hasn't he?
Yep.
I think
Okay,
that's
I'm going to jump
definitely
in.
the case.
Brave Man's Game beats Envoy LN and Long Press third. I know it's the 3 in the market, but I don't think there's a roughie here. I don't think there is. It might have been more.
You said Eldorado's in your 3?
No.
You did?
No,
did.
Envoy LN.
Eldorado LN.
You said Eldorado Allen has got a
he's
chance.
got
You
mixed
said he's
up,
in my
hasn't he?
3.
He
Oh, I
he
thought
thought
you
I
said
was saying
Envoy
Envoy
LN.
LN.
Sorry, it's obviously your pronunciation.
Eldorado
which
LN.
led me to Eldorado LN.
Yeah.
Robbie Wilders loves this horse. I said I'd eat that Christmas tree if he wins.
He's no forlorn hope, is he? He's got a better chance than Envoy LN.
I think he'll be legless coming to 2 out.
What, want a match bet? Envoy LN against Eldorado LN?
You're on.
Battle of the LNs.
An even pint, yeah? In the
Yeah, an
Thirsty
even
Bear
pint in the
afterwards,
Bear,
All
yeah.
right, okay, all right. We're keeping an eye on the brand new Racing Post at Novice Chase. It's very rare that I get to say that on the show, but it is there. And Fedor, of course, 4 to 5 on. Was he? What was the Betfair SB of Fedor, Barry? We missed it going in.
4 to 5, 1.82.
Warm order then, beaten in the spring at Leopardstown, wasn't he, when they didn't go hard enough for him. That was when Vauban came to 4, but he's a proper horse, this, I think. Could he yet be a contender for Jambon?
Which one?
Well, I know you don't think so.
Fedor?
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
We'll see how this plays
We've
out.
got the Grand Annual winner out the back there. I love that shout, by the way. Whoever thought that theory, that's gunpowder treason and plot that, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
absolutely
he's a
brilliant.
contender, isn't he? I mean, if he goes and puts this race to bed, and you know, he looks to have a sound jumping
And Hollow
technique.
Games is a tool on his
Yeah.
day, isn't he? So, but I just wonder whether he's running here because Mighty Potter just looked so good, didn't he, in the Drimwall?
He looked very good, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he proved me a little bit wrong there as well. I mean, I love the odds, but I thought Dan Roy came up slightly short, despite the fact he won at odds on. Visionario, though it is, that goes on. Chase course at Leopardstown just gets you going.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, beautiful stuff.
You ever ride round there, Posty, Leopardstown?
No, I rode Fairy House and Punchestown. The Fairy House one was an interesting one. So I rode that Roos Blanc in the Irish National, White Horse.
Charlie Mann's. Was it not Charlie Mann? Oh,
Richard and Kerry Lee.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did Charlie Mann have it?
And then they played the Irish National Anthem at the beginning of that, and I could see these Irish jockeys with tears running down their face. They're that passionate and rev.
A bit like you when the Welsh one comes on.
And there's me on the all-white horse, the British Raider. I thought I'm going to get killed.
This is no Desi. He was a character, wasn't he? Fedor just coming off the bridle slightly a little bit was singing it.
It's made a bloomer there.
Chris,
Regulation.
Yeah, here we go. Over we go. Yeah.
Chris Timms, yes, I would like to be in a bar in Bali watching the King George right now. Come on, long press.
Is that where you are, Chrissy Timms? Is that where you are? You are in a bar in Bali.
Yeah, a bar
Ready
in
to...
Bali.
Chris, great to have you, despite the fact you've gone to Bali.
Race
You're
hotting
still
up
watching
here.
us on. He's one of our biggest
Saint
supporters,
Ouen,
Chris.
Travelling very well.
The Grand Annual is no more, lads, if this goes and wins.
Yeah.
This could be Saint. Is this going to be his first win since the county owned if he gets
I
over
think
the
it
line
might be.
here?
Yeah.
It might be.
I don't know, but Visionario.
He has to go and do it first.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does. Fedor is a grinder,
Oh.
and he'll love this. He'll eat it
All
up.
about to jump at the last.
Oh, he's too slow, Fedor, isn't he? He's going to be moving up in trip now, Fedor. That's for sure. The
Told you he
4-year-old.
ain't any good.
And Saint Ouen is going to go and do it then. First win since the county hurdle. Willie Mullins, another Grade 1 of many to come this
The
Christmas.
Ducker and
then.
Diver.
The Ducker.
There we
The
go.
Chief
Sam
Ducker
Roy.
and Diver.
The Ducker and Diver. Saint Ouen gets over the line then. The 7-year-old. He'll be an 8-year-old. As we've got all these older horses. I don't know why. It's just one of those years. Usually, when you go and you want a 6-year-old becoming a 7-year-old for the Brown Advisory, you want a 5-6-year-old for the 7-year-old for the Arkle, and yet we've got a lot of these horses. We saw Time Hill winning, of course, earlier on. He'll be a 9-year-old. Saint Ouen, Arkle candidate on the back of that. Has to be county hurdle winner, and he's an 8-year-old as well. Obviously, in the same connections as Jambon.
Just the 3 for Willie Mullins so far in Leopardstown.
Yep, and the
Quiet day.
and the real plot horse in the first was turned over, wasn't he?
Parmion,
Yeah, Parmion, that's right. Okay, we're building up then to one of the greatest spectacles in the jumping land. It is the King George. Let's have your 1, 2, 3s in for it then out there. You've still got time to get across. 1, 2, 3?
Long press, Brave Man's Game. I can't make my mind what's going to fill the frame.
What's the debate? Where are we fencing it? Who's the 2?
Hitman, Ahoy Senor.
Tempted to say Ahoy Senor.
Yeah,
trying to help
I'll
you.
go Ahoy Senor. Then.
Trying to help you,
Yeah,
as usual.
So, long press, Brave Man's Game, Ahoy Senor.
I think Ahoy Senor, Long Press, and Royal Pagaille, and then El Dorado LN.
First 4.
And then probably Brave Man's Game, and then Envoy LN, and then Hitman last.
Okay, all right.
What about Miller's Bank?
It's just greedy.
He's trying to give us the finishing
Hitman will be
positions.
last, I think. Do you think Hitman will be last?
I think Hitman will blow out. Yeah, blanks will be 5.
Chantry House like last year.
I wonder if Sir Alex is there today. I know Jeb was just trying to get Ricky Hatton to go and join him as well, because Hitman Hatton, who he's looking after.
Yeah,
as well.
I just let out a big sigh there because we run this thing, a rating post, every big race day, the punter versus the pro, and
How have you been doing on that?
Obviously, I am the pro and I'm winning 2-1 against the punters.
You are a
and
greedy
this week, for a special Boxing Day edition, they let Ed Chamberlain of ITV, Take Me On.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, and I was just literally, my horse at 14 to 1, Foster's Island, jumped the last in front, and
At
it has got
Wetherby.
knotted right on the line.
I saw you moaning
You're a
about
lucky
something.
man. He's
He
a
was
lucky man,
grunting,
Chamberlain.
wasn't he?
Chamberlain's a lucky man.
Has he beaten you?
No, there's one. We've both gone for solo in the last at Kempton. So this is the deciding race because no one's had a winner yet.
Right.
Chelsea, I've had 2 seconds. I've had 2 seconds. Sounds Russian, which must have traded.
So are you ahead on count back then?
I think we should actually count seconds. That's a good point.
Because you
That's
could
a
beat
good
Chambo,
because
yeah.
because if we both finish level, it should go on count back and who has the most seconds. And I've definitely had the most seconds. But Chamberlain is a very lucky man because I almost just wiped the floor with him. That 14
With a 14 to 1
It
winner.
was beaten.
But you've got nothing.
It was
The
beaten
story
right on
of
the
your
line.
career?
So Chamberlain here, I think he has gone for long press. And
He's
I
gonna do you, G.
am on
And
a
does that
Hoy
make him the
Signor.
number one tipster if he beats him?
Well, Chamberlain, I think the mic will be shaking currently at Sunbury on Thames, won't it? Because he knows that he's going to come up potentially second best to the Moose.
Well, most people do, Dave.
Well, okay, fair enough.
Interesting how
You
they're
must be
lining
used
up
to
here,
it by
lads.
now.
Go on, how are they lining up?
Senor is gonna
Go on,
be
Hoy
down the
Senor.
inside.
He will want the lead, Derek Fox. Barry, a final market update. Is that 3 to 1 Brave Man's Game going to go, or is this how we're going to see it now?
No, long press is 3.5, 4.0 Brave Man's Game, 5.4 Envoy Land. That's come in for support. 13 Hitman has been friendless. 15 Hoy Signor, another one that's been easy to back along with Rob Guy, who's come in to 15 from 18. Frodon, 21.
Okay, there you go. So some of the rags seeing some support. I tell you what, Neil Francis has come in with his 1, 2, 3. I can see you in the chat, Neil, and Madeline out there as well, both going for long press. I'll tell you what, Neil Francis is going for an absolute mad one here. He's going for Eldorado Allen to finish second and Miller's Bank to come third. Melanie goes for long press to beat number 9. That is, of course, Royal Pagaia, and number 5, who's Frodon. So seeing the race interestingly there, guys. Best of luck, whichever way you're going to play. Simon O'Neill goes straight tricast and 1, 2, 7. That's Ahoy Signor to beat his old rival Brave Man's Game and Long Press. Can see that. Fifth Kif comes back on and says Long Press to win like a man in a hurry. Pressing, I like it. Long pressing, I like that. Maybe that's something that
that
Pep
what it
Guardiola
means?
might want to adopt after this. Frodon being kept wide.
Royal
Yeah.
Pagaia continuing to track support into 13 now from 18.
The price-wise pick. And again, a slight curveball that he's coming back here. We expected him to see Betfair Chase, didn't we? But he must have had a hold-up, I
Yeah, I
imagine.
think he must have.
What's
He
the last-
was. He got a held up. Yeah.
What was the last first-time out winner to win this?
It looked like his race, didn't it? Royal Pagaia, the Betfair Chase. I think he's got a chance if he turns up in his best form. And maybe he's coming in price because it looks like there's going to be a solid pace on. And I think he wants a strongly run race, doesn't he, Royal Pagaia?
Every time I think about Royal Pagaia, I think about a line that Kills once told us when he spoke to the breeder of Royal Pagaia. And he said you need to have tractors in the pedigree. Basically, he's a plougher.
He's a plougher.
He is. So is it soft enough for him? I don't know. He's a wet track horse in my money.
I really don't think Derek Fox can go fast enough here. I just think he's just got to go. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be.
No way.
very
He won't
impressive.
leave Frodon, will he?
He's got to go. He's got because he's
Frodon being lined up wide.
I think that they think he sulks a bit, Barry. Ahoy, Signor. So this is what he's been
I
doing so far.
thought he'd be doing well to lead Frodon now.
We shall see.
we
They're
go.
about to go then,
Well,
guys.
that's
False
going to be a
start.
full
False
start.
start.
Oh man, the biggest race of the day. And what was wrong with that, Posty?
Well, they were cantering in. You can't do that.
So that is on the jocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So well done, jocks. But that shows you how much they care about this race, isn't it? MYLN just maybe having a little think about that after that full start. Brave Man's Game was up there, by the way, guys.
And that is the thing. It's a 3-mile race, this, but the start is so crucial.
Yeah.
Like getting especially for a Hoy Signor, Frodon, horses like that. The start is so crucial. So you're seeing jockeys revved up, wanting to be positive, almost get a flyer, and taking it too far. Luckily, we get the second chance to walk in now.
Proper solid in the betting, isn't he, MYLN?
Here we go.
They're off now.
92 is not shown. Right, we're off and
Oh,
going.
that's Hoy Signor.
And they have let them go, thankfully, the second time of asking, guys. And we want to see this pace burn up, potentially. Interestingly, Long Press is having a bit of it as well. MYLN, bit keen out the back with Miller's Bank. Eldorado Allen got a nice midfield sit, but it is Frodon that leads. Oh, all of a sudden, Ahoy Signor says, I'm not sure about that. Look at the head carries there on Ahoy Signor. It's just weird, isn't it?
Well, he's a weird horse, isn't he?
And he's almost shying away from the
Eldorado
inside.
Allen made a bloomer there, did he?
Your Frodon absolutely winged it. I've seen this movie before.
That's
said
what
Bruce
Bruce
Lee.
said,
I love
yeah.
that
I've seen it before.
Yeah, we have, of course.
Manila Indo.
This is what happened, of course. Yes, absolutely. And of course, I'll never forget when he won this. About 5 out, he was 12-1, and we were like, isn't he just, it's massive, isn't it? And he went on and did it, the little horse, of course, who came back in the Badger Beer, carried all that weight. Good horses in handicaps. We're seeing it advertised by Long Press in second as well. Taking the lead now, Derek Fox, on the wayward head carriage of a Hoy Senor. Looking for Brave Man's Game. He's in fourth at the moment. Royal Pagaille on the outside. Hitman taking the lead today, riding him cold again. And Eldorado Allen out the back with Envoy Allen as well. Posty, what's catching your eye as we off
Long
four
Press
fences?
just shifted a little bit left at the first one down the back. Be interesting to see how he navigates these next three. And he is going a
Oh,
fraction
yes,
left.
he
going
is.
left.
And he's
Yeah.
almost getting in Brave Man's Game's way. Harry Cobden will have to be aware of this. As you said, a Hoy Senor, awkward head carriage, almost shying away from the rails kind of. But he at the moment, he's travelling okay. Envoy Allen's settled well enough, dropped right in. Hitman again travelling comfortably. Miller's Bank's been a little bit awkward over a couple of the fences early doors.
Let's go to Barry Orr in Dublin then and see what the exchange is saying.
Yeah, nothing major. 4.0 Long Press, 4 Brave Man's Game. They're the two at the head of the market. 7.6 Envoy Allen. It's 10 Ahoy Senor. Betfair SB is 16. 11.5 Royal Pagaille.
Yeah, Royal Pagaille just catching my eye a little bit there. Tom Scudamore, I mean, it's Tom's want, isn't it, to have a piece of the action, really, and to get on with things. But he's maybe sensing that Frodon and Bryony are just controlling it to their pace. He's now moved up size, Brave Man's Game.
Yeah, I think Bryony looked to be trying to really slow it down like she always does and stack them up again. And yeah, Long Press has just gone up there. I just wonder whether you want to be on Long Press's outside the way he's jumping Posty. Harry Cobden's right on his outside there.
Yeah, I mean, he was straight to there, but like it's definitely something that Harry Cobden's going to be aware of. He doesn't want to be jumping into that pocket if as Charlie Deutsch, if he's going to shift left and landing on his heels.
I'll tell you what, I'm not liking the way that Envoy Allen's jumping at all, guys. And she reached for her iron at one point on the far side when we were concentrating on some of the front runners. Just watch an eye on him. And again, the exchange doesn't mind him, but not for me at the moment. Brave Man's Game, widest of all. Then Hitman even started to warm up a little bit there. Although he's a tiny bit sluggish. That will be the last next time round. Okay, and again, look at Tom Scudamore.
Yeah.
Keep pressing that button. What are you thinking about Ahoy Senor then?
I was happy, but Bryony just shut the door there on Derek Fox. Yeah,
See what happened to him there?
Oh.
Watch him here on the bend.
Hang on,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah,
There's not a lot of room there, is there?
Slapped down the shoulder, did he?
It is a funny bend that because they go onto the
tight.
all-weather track, don't they, Posty,
Yeah.
basically, and it's not for everyone.
No, it's not. But it actually has made a massive difference when they put it in. It's a tight bend, but they tend to grip it very well.
Bryony likes shutting the door, don't she? Look, she just shuts that door every time, just squeezing Derek Fox up against that rail.
Now, the drifter of the race so far, to my eye, Barry, has been Brave Man's Game, but we're in third. He's absolutely winged that. What's going on with this?
Yeah, he's out to 7.0. I don't know. He just seems to. He's not really getting himself into contention with his jumping the way he usually does. But Long Press is your clear favourite now at 2.86.
Hitman,
5.4 Envoy Allen. 8.4 Royal Pagaille. Frodon, 17.
The exchange really likes Rachel Blackmore at the moment, and more than I do. He says, this is where it's going to get tough now all of a sudden then. Who's going to like it, who's not? You mentioned Hitman there. He had a little bit of a shake of the reins, didn't he?
He made a mistake there at the ditch going away from the stands there. But I mean, they're stacking them up now. I mean, plenty of horses travelling really well.
Well, Johnny Burke's enjoying himself as well, isn't he? On
Yeah.
Miller's Bank, who Madeline put up.
travelling,
of course.
isn't he?
Eldorado and N. Robbie Wilders, I will not be eating the Christmas tree unless he picks his game up. Really good jump there by Brave Man's Game. And again, Envoy Allen, what are you
Out
watching,
Out to
guys?
33-1 Envoy Allen. After
Oh,
that,
yeah, sad mistake, yeah.
stopping to a walk.
Now, this is where I'm getting excited now because Long
Oh,
Press,
don't
he
you?
really reached for that Long Press.
Yeah.
And he must be putting off Brave Man's Game slightly, Posty.
God, you'd have thought
He
so.
definitely is hampering his rhythm. Charlie Deutsch went for a long one there, and the horse thought about putting down, then kind of came half-heartedly, paddled through the birch.
And I tell you what, Ahoy Senor is far from
Got
done
a
with on the
chance here,
inside.
Ahoy Senor.
Now Harry Cobden is sensing that he's got to get on with it. But Royal Pagaille, that first time out run, he's taking a blow. Frodon's still in front though.
He
Why
is.
doesn't
yeah.
Harry
Oh.
Cobden switch to the inside?
Yeah, I
I
don't
know why he doesn't want to come inside him, but I mean, I think he's not
Charlie
chipping
Deutsch
him now.
does what Charlie Deutsch
Deutsch
does and has a look
and he has a
between
look,
the legs.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was a bit more of a fretful look, I think. So
Evens.
at the
travelling,
moment,
is
No,
he,
it
Long
wasn't a
Press?
fretful look.
he's even money
he
Long
knows-
Press. Posty's getting excited.
he knows
Here
he's
comes
got
Brave Man
Frodon covered.
Game.
He knows
He's
he's
not
got
done
Frodon
with.
covered.
It's Paul Nicholls and
It's a
Venetia
thriller.
Williams. It's going to be a British winner. We can say that for sure.
Harry Cobden's
Ahoy
gonna have to
Senor's gone.
challenge on his
Roy
left.
Pagaille filling his lungs. Could he possibly? So Brave Man's Game's on the outside. You have to say that Charlie Deutsch is looking out.
Harry, when are you going to switch
It's
inside?
the Rayman's game.
It's going to be a thriller.
How are we doing it? This is unbelievable. All of a sudden, Harry Compton comes back onto the bridle.
Stretching, Deutsch.
This is all about 2 out. Come on, Raymans. In you go. Go on, over he goes.
Go on, Deutsch.
This is
Go on, Deutsch.
Oh,
what a
Off
thrill.
we go. Come on, Rayman's game.
Go on,
Press
Deutsch.
on the inside.
He's going to outstay him.
If he goes to the house. Come on, Rayman's game.
Come on, Deutsch.
Over another up and out.
blown it.
Oh! Long press is unseated at the last. Would you believe it? And it's left the brave man's game. The Corto Star winner 12 months later. Oh, Copper's up in the saddle, Barry. Oh, what a treat.
Word. Poor old Charlie Deutsch. Your heart has to go out to him. Was second.
Royal Pagaille, by the looks of it, I think it was a long way
Roy
back.
Pagaille and Frodon. For my word, what a race. Harry Compton took it up with the jump like we hoped he would. Long press traded short in the run, Dave. Traded at 1.50, so 2-1 on Long Presse, just as they jumped the second last that time. Poor old Charlie Joyce, unseating rider there, but it's a great win. It's a lucky 13 for Paul Nichols, King George's, 13 King George's.
Absolutely
what a trainer.
magnificent.
He
Yeah.
laid him out for this race. He said this was his Gold Cup, and he's gone and duly obliged. Frodon's ran a cracker. Roy Pagaille's ran really well, and Long Presse has lost little in defeat. And Voyalan was very disappointing, as was Ahoy Senior, who again looked like he sulked when he didn't get the lead. But what a cracking race! It's a race you're going to have to watch over and over again. There was so much going on in it.
Is he going to be the Clan de Zobo, this guy? You know what I mean by that? Just keep coming back, missing Cheltenham, coming back. We'll see about that. But for now, we just enjoy this. And, I mean, he had him beaten, didn't he, obviously, at the last, when he was probably just a little bit guessy. And Charlie, thankfully, was up with a bit of a smile on his face, wasn't he? And just...
Yeah, fair play to Paul Nichols. I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? I just
7 from 20
It's
for
incredible.
the Gold Cup.
He's never going to win a Gold Cup, is he? In a million years.
He's 7 from 20 for the Gold Cup.
No, I'd have no interest in that.
He's never going to win that, but it's a great
I'd
great
be
training
a bit more
performance,
positive
isn't it?
about that, I think, than you guys. I think we might be seeing a different Brave Man's game here. I think we might be. That he showed me something that I wasn't totally sure he had. And that was the going through that pain barrier, because he was off the bridle, wasn't he, turning in?
Yeah,
He'd gone widest of all the way.
A lot of people throughout his career have aimed the criticism that he doesn't do much when he's in front, and that maybe he might be a weak finisher. But I think he laid that one to rest there.
Yeah, that was marvellous, and you're going to get all the quotes coming in, of course, as we go on. That's our final race of the day. Loads of you out there watching us, and that was an absolute treat, and I got a little bit excited there. But we can now say, unequivocally, that the Racing Post has a #1 tipster, and the trophy is coming home.
He's gone up in the power rankings.
No, I've actually made the power rankings, which is a big thing. Barry, it's been great fun. I hope you and the family enjoy the rest of the festive season. St Stephen's Day still to come. Lots still to come at Kempton, and I'll see you, all being well, on the 31st.
Yeah, looking forward to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, a doubleheader we have. So, yeah, really looking forward to that. Thanks, Charlie, and thanks, G-Rod, for working your magic on the Betfair Exchange and Sportsbook.
There you go, pressing the buttons today, of course, for Barry. Great to have the big hitter there, and great profit we've seen. Constitution Hill, of course, just winning by over 17 lengths, that demolition. It's hard to think that Brave Man's game could have been usurped on the card, but I mean, that was just brilliant.
I really enjoyed the whole day, but that race was just put the cherry on top. What a
Roland
race!
Merrick was a brilliant finish as well.
Yeah.
Into overdrive for Sounds Russian. Yeah, it's been fun, hasn't it? And like I say, great to have you out there. We've got Jerry Colom against Kilcrup there. Loads of racing still to come. Do gamble responsibly, guys. That's what it's all about. But have fun. Enjoy the rest of it. We will be back with you on New Year's Eve. That's the Saturday. We're doing the Sunday as well. You're back for both, aren't you?
Yeah.
We're kicking him out now, don't worry.
Yeah, I'll be back in the new year. Yeah, back in the new year. Late January.
You've got a new rival for that tipping trophy, I can tell you that much. Thanks to Dave and Will in the gallery. Thanks to John Bond for doing the socials as well. Merry Christmas, everyone, here from us all on Racing Post Live and Betfair.